Good evening, Black America. Test 1, 2, 3. Let's test the microphones real quick. Okay, good. We got good sound. Welcome to Black Centcom, Black America. Now, let's salute this chat room before we begin. B1 salute to Rahisi Harris. B1 salute to Miss Ride or Die. Now, Black America, ladies and gentlemen, we have a strong, powerful dissertation lined up for you today. Can you dig it? Now, this presentation, I humbly submit to you, is called the 80-20 Principle. ADOS, the new House Negro. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, why this title? I'm sure you're scratching your heads wondering, what do I mean by the new House Negro? ADOS, the new House Negro. Well, if you're strong enough, true enough, and bold enough to take it, with a lioness in the lion's heart, warrior spirit, stick with us today. You're going to find out why we call this dissertation the 80-20 Principle. ADOS, the new House Negro. Now, we give grace to the ancestors. Without our ancestors, without standing on the square of Pan-Africanism, Black nationalism, Black power, none of this happens. Now, we're going to cover a lot of bases today. Our switchboard is loaded, lit, and we out-perused ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we continue, your father and I want to introduce ourselves. So please allow me to do my classical Black Centcom intro. Who am I? I'm the words you're afraid to speak, the face you're too faint to see. I am scarlet, call me crimson red, the blood of a million slaves in every verse that I pen. I'm dark matter in a world of light weights, the future you cannot fathom, your inescapable fate. I am freedom through a musical note. I am you outside of the mirror, the reflection of hope. I'm the most hated, most feared Black woman on all of white and Black YouTube. I'm a debate prep, battle-hardened intellectual warrior scholar. I'm an intellectual revolutionary terminator of white supremacy. I'm a Black truth terrorist. I'm a Black history hit woman. Indigenous people's avenger, comforter, and queen. And might I add, I'm a Black separatist. I'm a Black freedom fighter. And I'm a Black field Negro. Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! Black African unapologetic power. Welcome, formally, to Black Centcom, Black America. Okay, let's get into this first. Guys, sneaking curious, curiosity tells me that we may not have any moderators on board today, but in the event that we don't, if we do actually, rather, I want to advise you moderators, even when you come into the room, don't block anybody. Our beloved sister for Righteous Black Folks Home, she doesn't agree with my message overall, but she's welcome. See, we've got some stuff to get into today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to expose Yvette Carnell hardcore today with truth, with empirical evidence. I want to submit to you that we did a counter-strike, a COINTELPRO, a purge, a internal breach of her white nationalist front organization called ADOS. See, I instructed my dear sister, my beloved sister for Righteous Black Folks Home, to gain the courage to challenge those for whom she follows, to call Miss Yvette Carnell out, to question her with the tough questions, as she does myself. But see, I don't tell people what to do if I don't follow my own example. Guess what I did for Righteous Black Folk Home? I called Yvette Carnell's show. And guess what? We've got video footage of it. and it's coming soon to come. We're going to expose her because they're running around talking about this whole, well, JB went down to a Bernie Sanders rally and he scared Bernie so much that Bernie Sanders was running from this guy JB, and they had to drag JB out of there because, oh, ADOS is here and ADOS is demanding things, and now the establishment is so scared. They said that Bernie is a hypocrite. They said that Bernie is all these things. I have no problem with that. However, what tends to happen in these circles is, in translation, we make the misconception that we're not held or bound to hold everybody accountable that we follow. So the YouTube personalities can get this work too. Meaning that includes you too, Yvette Carnell. And Tone Talks, you can get this work. So when we're following anybody, especially those, make no mistake, not limited to those who have been on YouTube for the longest with the biggest views in the 1 percentile. We're talking about all of them can get this work. Meaning, what is this work, sister girl? What do you mean? I mean, we as the followers have to hold them to a standard of accountability, meaning checks and balances, meaning we will call you and hold you accountable to what you preach. Now, hold on. I'm going to need a minute here. So what we did was we purged. Stand by. Oh my God. We purged her comfortable propaganda called ADOS. And let me just tell you in opening deliberations right now. I'm having so much pain in my hip. Please. Now, what we were able to achieve was we exposed her for the liar and the fraud that she is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, being a war general and Miss Sister Queen for Righteous Black Folks Home, stand by. I'm going to check your comments in a minute, but please. What I was able to do was to expose her as a hypocritical, finger-pointing, double-talking hypocrite, because she's out here saying that Kamala Harris and all these establishment Democrats and all the right-wingers and all politicians are so fake and so against black people, this and that and that. They're saying they don't want to answer questions about accountability, show transparency. Well, I was able to show that she ran from me. When it came time for her to show and prove and stand on ADOS, not talking to one of her base or puppeteers in the audience, I'm talking about a real, constructive, positive conversation. When it came time for her to finally face down Queen Ma'at, she ran. I'm going to show you the footage, live and direct. And I'm going to show you how I was cordial and respectful to her. Taking notice of the words I used. I said, Miss Carnell. I treated her with utmost respect. Probably the most respect she's ever had on her puppeteer, follower, groupie platform. But she ran from me. You're going to see it, how she drugged me in her chat room. Not only did she run from me, her followers drugged me. And then she drugged me for 15 minutes after the phone call. And I'm like, really? Really? And she lied and she perjured herself and said, I'm going to give you permission to speak. I'm going to allow you to speak. And she did not. And I'm going to show it to you. And we're going to break it down later. But that's, if you got the lioness and the lion's heart and the word spirit to stay here today and to stick with us, you're going to see that exclusive footage. Now, first, we're going to do opening deliberations. And now, if you humbly give me a second, we're going to look at this chat room. And we're not going to follow this chat room for the duration of the show, but we will check in periodically. However, let me see what our dear beloved Sister Queen for Righteous Black Folks Home is talking about. Now, she says, oh yes, let's hear it. She also says, no called, code minded. And then she says, yes, video, please. And she's putting running in there. And then she's putting a black fist. No, that's not her. Inflamed Dome says, you ready for war? Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. I don't know if you're a ma'am or woman, but for Righteous Black Folks Home says, performance warming up. And then she says, who purred? Say what? Crazy smart. Crazily smart. And then somebody else would say, Rob says, you crazy lady. Salute. I'll be that. No, I'm saying you dig. And now for Righteous Black Folks Home says, we all scared to be fair. I'm not. See, ma'am, I let you troll this broadcast last week, and I have no fear. And you see, I don't have not a one moderator on deck right now. I don't care either. Now, see, here we do real two-way conversation. We invite the opposing viewpoints as well as the pro viewpoints. And we allow everybody to speak. We don't do that tucking your tail, throwing rocks, hiding your hands, running shit here. And we're going to get into all that soon to come. However, stand by, stand with us, stand strong, stand fast. Now let's see. The automated moderator system flagged one of your comments, Miss Righteous for Black Folks Home. And you said, say what? House Negroes. We warriors. Okay, I'll show that comment because it's no big deal. I approved the comment. But now, let's get into it, people. We got some opening deliberations to get past here in Black Centcom. And now we're doing opening deliberations. Now, there's a lot of regurgitated news out there that is getting a lot of press. And I feel like this press is unwarranted because this news is not newsworthy. We're past Jeffrey Epstein at this point. And as much as I want to tell you this, listen in here, we're in Black America, that the homosexual agenda is partially horizontal, but mostly vertical. Because when it comes to population control, I'm pro-Black life. Overstand that cosign, you dig. I don't play around with abortions. I don't play around with birth control. I don't play around with forced sterilization, eugenics of any kind. So, when it comes to the LGBTs, out here basically causing population control, lack thereof, to procreate. I have a problem with that. Houston, last time I checked, is a Black area. And Houston, we have a problem. But anyway, let's go there because there's some news coming down the pike on that subject. But first, we're going to talk about something that's been heavy on my heart. And again, we give grace to the ancestors. We're going to say, Alafia Ne, Hotep, Black Power, free the land. And to all others, what's up? Now, let's get into this. We're going to talk about Black broadcast excellence versus Black platform whores. Yep. Oh, bitch. No, she didn't. Yes, I did. Because you know what? As quiet as it's kept, the ancestors inspire every agenda that I have. And now today we're going to talk about it because I'm sick and tired of the 1 percentile with most views on Black YouTube. Now, let me just say this real quick, because at any time during this dissertation, if you feel like vomiting, passing out, diarrhea, fussiness, blindness, please reach up and pull out the gas mask above your head. Place it firmly, squarely on your face, baby doll, sugar dumpling. If that's not enough for you, please exit stage left. Don't let the door hit you in your ass. And if that's not enough for you, please unsubscribe. We're not worried about a goddamn thing in Black Centcom. Now, before we get into the Black broadcasting tidbit, we're going to show you the call-in number for the second hour. Please don't call now because the phone lines are not booted in. But we're going to show you the call-in number to take note of, to stand by for it. Because when the second hour comes, we're going to open these phone lines. And we want to hear from you. So please write this number down. Save it. Whatever you must do. But the call-in number is 122-597-7258. It will be the lightning round in the BCC Black Central Command. Mark my words. We want to hear from you, or forever hold your peace. Now, producer, let's get back to the meat and potatoes. We're going to hit him with this Black broadcast excellence tidbit. Mind you, it's more than a tidbit, sugar dumpling. Prepare yourself. Now, when I talk about Black broadcast excellence, we're talking about Black broadcast excellence versus Black horn on a platform, which is YouTube. Now, what we're talking about, what we're seeking to impress on you is that Black broadcast excellence is at its most basic level, the raising of the bar when it comes to the black content. Well, first of all, engineer, let's make it hot in here before we continue, please. Can we make it hot in here? Because we gotta take people to the level, man. We're gonna show people what we're talking about now. So anyway, engineer, heat it up now. Let's talk about this shit. This is serious business, boy, and we're gonna go in. Dackers flying. Now we're gonna get hot. Now let's talk about this shit. And please help me with this microphone, baby doll. Okay, so now, black broadcast excellence at its most basic level is the raising of the bar when it comes to black content creators and the content we create thereof. We go the extra mile to make content worthy of the highest praise from the faculty. Look it up. The highest prestigious institutions of higher learning. More than that, we seek to offer our audience something edifying and powerful, so he or she may walk away having to learn something new and something they can use to empower their lives. Gone are the days where we accept black so-called content creators who whore themselves out to YouTube. And I'm not naming names, so don't even start with me. But I'm just saying, in the 1% town with the most views, that whore themselves out. Anyway, themselves out to YouTube and push out reprobate, regurgitated media, who are passive to edifying their audience, and seek quantity over quality, and seek money over education, and influence, plus empowerment. Now, again, we're not dropping names on this. This is just general basis here. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to name somebody, though. Because we do that here in the BCC. This is a war front. Now, the person I'm going to talk about most likely. Now, we're going to come up with names for these people so that, you know, they can't flag us. But the person I'm talking about right now is going to be Alvin and the Chickmunks. Who is Alvin and the Chickmunks? Well, he brought us Hidden Colors, yes. Why do I call him Alvin and the Chickmunks? Well, your father and I want to tell you. The reason we call him Alvin and the Chickmunks, if you look at him, his cheeks have got so damn fat. If you look at a chickmunk, a squirrel, it's got those cheeks, baby. And that's why we call him Alvin and the Chickmunks. Please, girl, don't hurt him. But the facts are the facts. And so that's his name. He's a squirrel. He's a chickmunk. Now, this guy has the most views. When I say the 1% top with the most views, that's what I mean. God damn it. He has the most fucking views. He is the loudest, most direct public voice out here. Now, here's the only problem I got with our dear brother, is that he, and I haven't used his name yet, but you did. The point is, I have a problem with him because, I've told you all before, he doesn't stand on anything. He changes like the seasons and the wind. And it's highly problematic. And any man who says he's not a leader is double problematic, because if you're not a leader, your word is not your bond. What the hell do you got to stand on? So anyway, the point we're making here is more than that. He was against Eddie West before he was for it. And these people make shit up as they go. Now, Foundational Black Americans is in our crosshairs today. Now, I want to make clear that Foundational Black Americans is his little ADOS donation pot. What do you call it? Acronym or whatever. Now, I showed you all before the video where he sat here and said, ADOS. When people get to talk about ADOS, they're being deceptive. I want to be clear. ADOS is deceptive. Whenever reparations come up, ADOS, and he said all this bullshit. 2 months later, when he saw how much Yvette Carnell was pocketing in donations, he decided, shit, get some skin in the game, and let's hustle. Let's make it our own. Foundational Black Americans was born. That's his acronym. Now, why is this a problem? Because I told you all before under John 10, a confirmed white supremacist whose head of several white nationalist front organizations, with one being Planned Parenthood, another being Progressives for Immigration Reform. And you can look all this up on the IDEO website. All of this. Now, the facts is this. We know it's a white nationalist front operation, ADOS. But more than that, what we're experiencing here, Black America, is the pissing on the ancestors' graves. I'm not going to get into all that, but you already get it. We're going to get into it soon, though. And the thing of it is, they're making up shit as they go. And he's saying, oh, fuck Africans, oh, fuck this, fuck that. Now, see, mind you, he brought us Hidden Colors. He stands on the square of Ogun. He does a lot of talking about the hidden history of Haiti. Now, last time I checked, your father and I want you to know, Ogun is an Afrocentric African concept. Haiti is a foreign black nation. So what I have a problem with under the concept of foundational Black Americans is this, that you want to fence straddle, you want to double talk, you want to be a fucking hypocrite, talk shit about the motherland, and then leech off the motherland when beneficial to line your goddamn pockets no more. See, I got a problem with that. You're not going to betray your ancestors and eat off your ancestors at the same time. See, and then they go to Hawaii and lay up on beaches with your goddamn money. Not his own money. We paid for that trip through donations. Well, the question is, what the fuck is he building with these donations other than documentaries and going on spending frenzies and trips on your dime? What is he giving back to the community? These are the things we want to know. And so more than that. See, I'm telling you, the only thing that ADOS has accomplished, the only thing it ever sought to accomplish, is the destruction of the Negro mind in the 21st century. More Willie Lynch agenda, poisonous mental disease, and most of all, MK Ultra mind fuck for the 21st century American Negro that fractures black unity on a global level, causes us to break up our cohesion as a people, erase our global footprint. Do you recall Fear of a Black Planet? We're going to get into it all, but I'm just telling you. Let's cut back to Black excellence. The point is, he's a cancer at this point. He has fallen to a new low, so goddamn low, you can't raise it no more. And the problem is, these people make me sick. I have a hard enough job to do. I seek to do a great and mighty work, and these people make it harder to reach people with the truth. Anyway, anyway. It comes to Black excellence. The point is, where was I? We want to edify people, bottom line. We want to enrich you with something you can use in your everyday life. The bar must be risen. We're tired of the celebrityism. We're tired of people switching on cameras, getting behind the latest trends just to fucking line their pockets. We're sick and fucking tired. New intelligent Black society don't fall for that. The bar must be risen in terms of quality, presentation, and work that goes into what you're spitting. We're sick of this fucking jive. Because I'm going to tell you what, on a personal level, I'm not speaking for you out there, but I'm not edified by that. I need scholarship to get me off. I'm not bullshitting. I get bored quick with that lame bullshit, gossip, talk, rhetoric. I want to hear the flame. I want to hear the fire. I want to hear the truth. I want to hear sources, cited, empirical evidence, dates and times, places. Let me tell you something. We're going to get into it so fucking deep today. You're going to be mighty angry with me now. But the point is, I, like others, an intelligent Black society in Black excellence in media. Let me tell you something. There's levels to this shit. See, you need an education, number one. You need to be a made man or woman at the feet of your ancestors. You need to stand on some principles. Pan-Africanism, Black nationalism, Black power, and stop jiving. Now, you need to seek nationhood, Atlanta, you're on more than that. See, when you go to college, some of the most injury level skills they teach is the ability to communicate. You will write mini essays that teach you cohesion, how to write with cohesion, which means your points of contingency stick together to support and corroborate your point. You're going to learn the art of, let's say you go for a PhD. Now, you're going to learn how to, for one, interpret what you read, comprehend what you read. Oh, so fundamental to learn. And you're going to learn the ability of problem solving. So not only are you going to come on a camera and say shit, how you feel, give us emotion and rhetoric, you're going to give us solutions. Problem solving. See, in Black Excellence in Media, all of our work gives you answers. We cite sources, dates, and time. This is what you learn in college. You have to do a 300 or 1,000-page essay. The teacher is going to give it back to you, marked in red, based on a few things. Misspelling is just obvious, but they're also going to give it back to you poorly graded if you have not cited any sources to corroborate your belief. Because belief is like an opinion with blind faith backing it. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. You dig. The point is, when it comes to a higher level of prestigious content, it must stand the time of peer review. It must be able to stand alone when reviewed by your peers. It must be credible, meaning you cited sources, and sources corroborate. It's like forensics and evidence to support your piece. And so when we say the bar must be risen, you must strive to put some pain in before you try to seek a freaking payday. See, whatever you give us, in my opinion of Hidden Colors 5, it's trash. Nothing new. Regurgitated Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Nothing wrong with that. However, the problem I have that's irking me is this. And we haven't got into this dissertation. This is opening deliberations. Now, the point I'm making is when you're getting into dishing out Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the point is this. Sir, can I help you, sir? The thing is this, you dig. You must seek to top your last performance. We don't want to see the same old horse and pony show. Bring us something to edify us. And the point is, with everything you do, you must seek to top your last until you can't no more. And you know what? When you reach that pinnacle that you feel like you can't woo the people no more or edify the people, number one, educate the people, most importantly, you need to bow the fuck out or some grace. Listen, a lot of these people are old as dirt. Over 50 years fucking old. Got families and kids. You know what? Kick back, shut your mouth, and get out. It's time for the new sheriffs coming in with a fire in their veins to take this shit over and do something. See, more than that, your father and I want you to know this. Cosign, overstand, you dig. Eventually, and I fall under the same standard of judgment. Please understand that. Eventually, we must demand that people give us something tangible, something we can feel, smell, taste, and goddamn touch. Guess what? We're 2% of the wealth gap. We are damn near a permanent underclass. We lead in poverty. So the point is, we need something of our own. The point is, we must build something and give back to the people. See, if people have been out here over freaking 20 years, going on 50 years old, and they're not giving us anything tangible, how the hell are we going to sit here and listen to them saying, well, fuck politicians, they're not giving us nothing tangible? And neither the fuck are you. In fact, you become so old and stupid that you fucking are now leading the people and the masses are fucking astray. Co-sign it, take it, or let it alone. There comes a time you get so old, so slow and senile, you need to shut the fuck up and bow the fuck out with some grace. Say you did it, your time is ended, and let the new sheriffs take over, is what I'm telling you. And that's what the ancestors told me to tell you. It's time to stand down. We ain't got time no more. But anyway, moving forward. There's a difference in black broadcast excellence and black platform whoring. Co-sign that. Check that. Because right now, I realize the most problematic thing for our people is that we have lowered the bar so goddamn low. We refuse to do for self and kind. We don't love people that look like us. That's the fuck, not racism whites in this age. Ladies and gentlemen in black America, overstand. White supremacy, we're not in chains no more. Yes? White supremacists are problematic. We're not excusing that. What we're telling you, listen to the sound of my voice, is that we are more of our own problem. We're going to get into the 80-20 rule soon. Now, moving forward. Boy, let's chill this off a little bit. We got to get hot for a minute because I want you people to understand. I'm going to say it again. The time for a lot of these people has ended. The time for you to back out has come. The time for you to shut the fuck up has come. Because you're no longer edifying. And the youth deserve better than that. See, you no longer take this serious, but I do. And that's the fucking problem. That's why most of you are misled. We'll get back into it soon to come, but let's cool them flames for a minute because we got more to come here in Black Centcom. Please sit tight, buckle up. Now, oh wow, and we must say this too in opening deliberations. Too many horizontal clauses are included in the ADOS jive white nationalist front movement. When I say too many horizontal clauses, what do I mean? What do you mean, sister girl? What I mean? I'm going to name one, and we'll keep it pushing. I mean this belief that foreign-born blacks is bad for you. Well, let me tell you something. When it came to the Native American getting their reparations, boy, you may want to strap in for this because this is going to get hot, mighty hot in a minute. Can we do something about this mic cord because we're having some issues? Stand by, Black America, please. Okay. Now, what I want to point out to you that's so damaging to ADOS is this. And we haven't gotten to the dissertation yet. This is opening deliberations, I remind you humbly. But the point I want to press on you is this. When the Native American got their reparations, one thing mattered only. Ethnicity. Should I repeat that? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Ethnicity, damn it. Now, why is this important? Because when the $5 Indian leached off of their reparations, the white fake Taino Indians and whatnot, in the lag, baby doll, you didn't see them saying, let's exclude those imposters. In fact, it didn't matter if a Native American was foreign born. Ethnicity and blood was the only damn prerequisite. Co-sign that. And now we got these drive time mumbling fool hustlers coming here telling us, trying to teach us something, saying that foreign-born blacks shouldn't get no rep. And let me tell you something. If a foreign-born black came to this country, let me be unapologetically fucking clear. I don't care if you like it or not. They're entitled to reparations. Why? Why, sister girl? Because they're black like me. Their ethnicity is African. Just like when it came to Native Americans, the imposters were able to get reparations because they said we're Native Americans. And the only goddamn requisite that mattered was your ethnicity, not where you're from. See, I'm so sick of you 1% town motherfuckers with the most views. You're fucking up the youth's mind with your bullshit. Oh, you're whoring. All you care about is money over matter, over substance. I'm so sick of you motherfuckers. Anyway, it's only but a few that I admire. Man, my footprint is shrinking daily. But anyway, let's get into the opening deliberations. There's more to come here, ladies and gentlemen, in Black America. Now, we want to talk about Malik Yoba coming out as being trans attracted, yada, yada, fucking yada. Let me tell you something. Twofold. The trans issue is part vertigo and part horizontal, meaning we can't control who this grown-ass man wants to sleep with and who he wants to fuck, but we can wake up the masses of people, inform them that it is an agenda against us, a weaponized population control agenda. Co-sign this, understand, you dig. That's it. That's where the rubber meets the road. I don't give a fuck who he's fucking. Grown-ass man. Let him, if he wants to breed himself out, fine. I don't care. I ain't gonna miss ya. Now, let's get right into this dissertation because, oh my God, there's so much to come. But let me remind you folks, we got to raise the bar. Don't be fooled and don't accept this bullshit from these 1% Negroes telling you we don't need to raise the fucking bar. We don't need to strive to do better with our products, services, and presentations. Because the damn you do. And certainly not coming from a crowd of people that say we're about tangibles and reparations. But when we look at your house, and when we look at the reality that the foundation of Black America is being crippled by Black Americans, it is disgusting. Let me tell you something. Wow, why do you people do this, man? We got calls coming in on the private line. Cut that off. We ain't got time for that. Anyway. It's not even the war line. What the fuck, man? But the point is this. I'm a war general. You better boot up for this one. Fucking up my chain of thought. Oh, give me a second here, guys. Oh, my fucking hip. I work out too much in the gym and now my hip is hurting me. All them damn squats I be doing. Goddamn. Give me a minute. Whew. Anyway, buck up. It's war time. We ain't got time for this shit. Anyway, the point is this, people. Where the fuck was I at? Oh, we were talking about Malik Yoba, whatever the fuck. Point is, we're not going to be able to change who grown-ass people choose to lay with. Not going to happen. We're not on a savior's mission. So why do we give a fuck who he's fucking? We're going to police ourselves, though. We have all the power as men and women to do what we want to do, to foresee our course in life. And that's all that matters. So anyway, off of that, the point is, let's talk about the 80-20 rule, or it's called 80-20 principle. Now, what we're talking about here is, it's sort of like critical mass. You dig? Now, what we're talking about now, though, is critical mass, which is a noun. Under physics, this principle means the minimum amount of material needed to maintain a nuclear chain reaction. But more than that, let's talk about the 80-20 rule, which in this illustration means if you give 20% effort, you get 80% result. And now you're going to look up who created it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to find it with a white man. Who gives a fuck when it comes to science, when it comes to principles? Please understand, cosign, you dig, that all this came out of ancient Kemet. How you mix and match it, how you use it later, it means nothing to me. I know the Tom who created it is irrelevant. No. Didn't create it. Excuse me. Let me wash my mouth out. Now, the point is, we know not Black America. Oh, sugar dumpling, what are you saying? We know this stuff came out of ancient Kemet. Stop fooling yourself. Now, the point we're making here is the 80-20 rule can be applied to work, economics, and anything in life to find the solutions. In this context, we're saying that Black America gives 20% of effort to white folks every goddamn day for what effect? An 80% effect of oppression, poverty, 2% of the wealth gap, and an inferiority complex of white people. Now, if we flip it, we can give 20% to the Black community every fucking day, every solitary fucking day, on a global level too, continentally and diasporically, for what? 80% Black power, Black influence, and wealth. Let's repeat that. 80% of Black power, Black nationalism, Black power, influence, and wealth. co-sign that, you dig? So the point is, we gotta flip the fucking script. For 236 years, we've been building the house, the Tower of Babel, for white supremacy. And now we mad, big time mad, that we ain't got shit when we're 2% of the fucking wealth gap. Man, fuck me. I need a drink. I gotta drink my herbal shit. Now, let's get right into it, because now it's about to get mighty hot in this bitch right now. And give us a hot minute here. Now we're going to get real hot now. We're going to lose some subs today, baby doll. I know it's common. But anyway, let's go ahead and, whoo, boy. Let's move along here with this dissertation. Before I start, let's say this. Let's get ready to rumble. Now, on your screen, you're looking at a depiction of Mary Ann Williamson. You dig, you heard? And so the problem is this. She's a well-dominant societal woman. And she's now getting skin in the game to tell us all in this ADOS white nationalist mindfuck operation that most of you submit yourselves to, that she's the only one fighting harder than the house Negroes for reparations. Don't she look like a witch on there? Understand, cosign, you dig, that the arch deceiver is only a deceiver. Just because she's out there saying you should get reparations means nothing. It's not backed by any promises, anything tangible. What is she doing? She's trying to use you as a political wedge for votes. And you Negroes are falling for you. Look, I had some Negro sending me a comment on my last video saying, oh, he tagged a video of her on my shit. Talking about how she, is running for these reparations. Get the fuck out of here. She's not running for shit but your vote. And when she's elected, God forbid, she's going to get in there and change like the wind and sell you the fuck out. Leave you stranded. But more than that. Let's continue with the notes now, because there's more to come. We're now going to get into the sciences of this dissertation. We may revisit her later, but let's get into the science part. I promise you all, we're going to use science to show you why we're going astray in the black community every fucking single solitary day. Check that. You dig? Not only in Black America, but globally, continentally, and diasporically, we have dropped the ball. We're one people, folks. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring up some of that ancient Kemet stuff for the people. We're going to start breaking down some concepts for these folks. They don't even understand what they're looking at, but my name is Queen Ma Girl. What at my girl? I'm versed in ancient Kemet. I'm a Hotepisha, if you will, and I don't give a shit. I'm Hotep and I'm proud, and I'm black and I'm proud. Take it, or let it alone. Now, anyway. I love it. We do research around here. Strategical, surgical, tactical, deliberate, unapologetic, mathematical shit. Now, let's talk about it, first of all. Let's remind you, Negroes, of where you come from. You come from greatness, not slave plantations. Cosign that, overstand, you dig. Now, in ancient Kemet, there were many trinities. And symbolic only, not literal. Fool, slap your mama. Anyway, the most popular one is that of Asht, not Isis, Asht. Asar and Haru. Now, Asht supported her divine king by trying to find all the pieces of his body that had been dispersed, look it up, by his wicked brother Set. Now, Set doesn't always mean evil. Cosign that, overstand, you dig. Now, Asht was only able to find 13 pieces of the divine king. And she had to recreate the 14th piece on her own to generate the seed that she needed to give birth to what? Haru. Now, before you go on a binge, Before you spaz out trying to say it's just a story. Well, your father and I want you to know is a symbolic overstanding of nature, the higher power in nature. And when they use these symbolisms, it is to show us an illustration for understanding and comprehension how this element of the one, all inclusive nature worked. So when people get hung up on the fact that there is varying names here in the Kemetic spiritual system, let's say this. When you go out in nature, please quit framing ancient Kemet through the lens you would the white man's biblical lie or the Homo King James. Their thing is they're trapped in a literal understanding, a literal belief, and belief is not to know. Belief is backed by blind faith, taking a chance. See, in ancient Kemet, we go off of science and we know how shit worked. But we make they made symbolisms to show us. So we can understand. Now, follow me, you dig. This is what we do. We teach, we strive to teach you something. Not saying we're better because I've always said my name means this. Hold up, y'all. Let me break this down. Queen Ma'at Girl means this. First, I'm not the white man's nigger. I'm not a minority. I'm a queen. Check that. Co-sign that. Overstand. You did. Now, when I say Ma'at, it's not lost on me that I'm grounded in reciprocity, justice, honor, and truth, integrity. And more than that, I say girl, meaning I'm a student in this work, not an expert. See, when you get to the point that you have solidified or convinced yourself and your followers that you can't be taught anything or you're incapable of learning, it's the moment that you're irrelevant. It's the moment you might as well cease to exist. Because the only purpose of our lives is to learn until the grave. That's life's destiny. It's quiet as it's kept. It's nothing else. You must learn. Anyway, the point is, let's get back into this. Now, you're seeing Ma'at with the wings and the feather in her hair on the walls. But anyway, we're not breaking it all down hieroglyphically. We're just telling you what they told me. Now, the word nature is the word for creator. Oh, I can't even roll my tongue now. Fuck it. Creator. Okay, there we go. Within you. No, wait. You have the letter T and R. Now, let me see. Okay, T being the feminine principle, I believe, and R being the masculine principle. So in the Kemetic faith, the creator was both man and woman. Can I repeat it? Can I get it on and raw? Male and female. Now, it wasn't some misogynistic, patriarchal man god in ancient Kemet. It was a man and woman. Now, wait a minute. We're getting there. Hold on. Pump your brakes. Sugar dumpling. Now, let's get into it. Now, the point is this, y'all. I'm getting too carried away with myself. Now, the point is this. You got the masculine and the feminine principle, the T and the R. Now, hold on. Now, let me see here. There were different faculties representing several different names that the creator had. And each name represented a different principle of nature. Co-sign that, overstand, you dig. Take it or let it alone. Now, stand by. We got so much more to come. We're just barely getting started. Oh boy, we're going to woo you today. But more than that. We got more coming. Now, engineer, if you will, please. Oh my God, are we? Oh, yeah, never mind. Now, we're going to continue with this. We got so much to cover. We got to move here. So anyway, let's do this. Now, anyway. Now, we know, we understand that the nature, the one creator, had many names. Now, This is often misinterpreted as being different gods. In reality, there was one creator represented by different names. Balance was the main principle of Ma'at and the creator. Now, balance was the main principle of the Kemetic faith or discipline. And as we know, without balance, we have chaos. So what do we have? Without balance, we have chaos. Take it or let it alone. And in a lot of ways in the Black America, there is no balance, no father and no mother. Co-sign it in the household. Ooh, we're getting into the mathematics here. We're going to show you why we're 2% of the wealth gap, impoverished and failing. It's common. Brace yourself before you break yourself. Now, this is what we do in Black centcom. Anyway. Anyway, you may call me a bitch. Who cares? Now, anyway, the fact is, this is often misinterpreted as being different gods. In reality, there is one creator represented by different names. Balance was the main principle of the Kemetic faith or discipline. As we know, without balance, we have chaos. In the Kemetic spiritual systems, Ma'at represented the ultimate balance. And in some cases, Set represented chaos and mischief. You dig? Who was Set in the white community? Let's be clear. I'm sorry, who was Set in the Black community? You dig? Set. I'm going to tell you something, baby. Set can be a white man or a black man. The devil can be white or black. Take it or let it alone. Let me tell you this. The devil in present time, well, historically too, believe it or not, it's quiet as it's kept. But the devil in the Black community nowadays is a black face. Anyway. Or the one causing mischief and confusion and chaos. Who killed Nipsey Hussle? Who killed Pac? Who killed Biggie? Who killed Malcolm X? Should I go on? Who killed Khalid Abdul Muhammad, my spiritual father? Anyway, I think you get the point. You foundational black quagmire fools. Now, getting back to this. As we know, Set became Satan in westernized religions, or might I say, Eurasian religions, the Abrahamic religions. Set became Satan, or Beelzebub, or Lucifer, and my personal favorite, the goddamn devil. Now, we getting on fire here. And now let's move forward. But first, what you're seeing on your screen is a depiction of Ma'at. Now, they made her white looking, but don't be thrown off the square. You know she was a black woman. Now, we're going to talk about, well, you guys. Anyway, I don't like interruptions and feedback during the broadcast. Can we please silence all devices? Please. Now. Getting back to this. We're building, we're cooking here. Now, getting back to this, we're talking about wife of Thoth, goddess of justice. No, wait a minute. Excuse me. Start over. We're talking about Ma'at, wife of Thoth, goddess of justice. Ostrich feather in her hair. Can you dig it? Whew. Helped her the way in of the hard. Goddess of truth and harmony. Now, one of my jobs here in Black YouTube, the BCC, Black Central Command, is to bring balance, order, and truth. Sick of tired of you 1 percentile Negroes out there misleading people. Sick of you. But anyway, let's continue. We got a lot of ground to cover. We ain't got there yet, baby. We're getting hot now. This is the warming up phase, the kicking in of the goddamn turbine jets. Now, we're real here. You dig? So now, where were we? And we're going to break away in a minute to look at this chat room. But first, Kemetic spiritual belief systems direct us to focus within and deal with the challenge within us. The role of Huin Methket is the raising of our consciousness to a higher consciousness in order to deal with our lower consciousness. Ultimately, we can conclude without balance. We can never be a divine being. As we ensure we do not have too much chaos in our lives, we have to make sure we don't do what? We don't do what, sister girl? Become too self-righteous. Co-sign that. Take it or let it alone. Shishat is the female scribe, the complement to the Tahuti, or to Tahuti, also a scribe. Now, Shishat, I will inform you, was where the white man stole the idea of the Statue of Liberty. Co-sign it, take it, or let it alone. It is what it is. From the Statue of Liberty holds a torch and a book representing the master scribe. And Shishat is holding a torch. And she has a scribe in her hand. Representation of the scribe. Now, moving forward. And if you will, we're going to keep this thing boiling. Because we're still moving ahead and opening it. Well, we're into it now, but let's continue here. Now, where was I? I was saying what had happened was they stole the Statue of Liberty from Shishat. Now, under Ma'at, we acknowledge that every day we have a chance to wake up for the day. Or should I say, we have a chance to make up for yesterday. The ancient Kemetic spiritual system did this by reciting the 42 negative confessions of Ma'at at the start of the day and at the end of the day. And they said they did not raise their voice, steal, blah, 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 etc. So you can look it up. But the point is this, that in modern times, we must strive to reclaim the knowledge of ourselves and to reclaim our spirits and ambition and excellence that the white man beat out of us during slavery. We need to focus on ancient Kemet, not the Bible, because the Bible is and was, and I quote, the greatest slave-making institution known to man. I'm going to get into that again soon, but the point is this: you got to return to the knowledge of yourself. Take it or let it alone. Now. The beauty of Imad is that at the end of the day, you were held accountable to stand on the 42 negative confessions in which you had to recite that you had not done wrong, etc. I'm going to update this to present day standards and say this. We need to say we have not sold out. We have not bootlit. We have not coned it up. We have not interracial dated, nor sought to build the temple for white supremacy or enrich the dominant society. Now, the ultimate responsibility more than that is that Ma'at instructs us that every day we have the opportunity to reincarnate or be reborn, or should I say relive. See, in Christianity, they teach that rebirth is through the grace of God, whether you repented or not and had a seat in heaven, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. I call bullshit. The truth is, every day you wake up, that's a rebirth. Your skin is different than it was yesterday. You get a little bit older, but we don't die. We multiply. Black power. And so the truth is, we're going to return you to the knowledge of self, whether you like it or not. Now we're cooking, but we want to do more than that. We want to start talking about more principles of ancient Kemet. So strap in, hold on, we ain't got deep yet, but we're going down that path, Gene. Okay? So anyway. The Kemetic faith teaches us that the black woman is heaven, and that the black woman can be used to reach divine heaven itself. In Kemetic tombs on the ceiling, you see a depiction of Newt stretched out in the sky. These images show her swallowing the sun, and it goes all the way through her body. Now, this is the belief, or they believed, this to have occurred at night. And the next morning, she gave birth to the sun again. And all the stars in the sky represent the stars of her body. Underneath her is her father holding her up. And I guess his name is Shu. Now, Shu, I meant not Shoo, but Shu. Now, it would be great if we had, you guys, I don't know if we put, I don't think we put, anyway, we're going to move along. Now, you can see this in any ancient Kemetic tomb. Now, continuing this, let me tell you something about women in ancient Kemet. Women in ancient Kemetic civilization had many rights and freedoms. Women don't necessarily have all these rights historically in America, but the point is this. Now, in ancient Kemet, women had legal rights. They could manage and dispose of property, private property, including land, portable goods, servants, slaves, livestock, and money. Co-sign that. You dig? So now, moving forward. They had marital rights. Partners in a marriage contract or divorce contract. She could execute, please forgive me. She could execute testaments. Free slaves, and as did Harriet Tubman, freed slaves. See the correlation? And make adoptions, meaning adopt children. They had occupational rights. Women could have their own jobs. They could be presidents. A man could only become a Nasut Biti if he married a woman of royal blood. See, in those days, most things revered the woman, the goddess. See, right now, what we're experiencing is the Black community is inside out, upside down. Take it or let it alone. But anyway, look, let me continue this. Now, they went through the woman's royal blood, not the man. Anyway, because in those days, they understood that women carried the royal line. Now, Nasut Biti was the ancient Kemetic word for king. And believe it or not, women could be kings and queens in those days. Now, what we can gather from this is that balance and understanding was very important and taken serious in those days of ancient Kemet. They understood that the life giver or creator of the Black woman could also be a leader or ruler. They believed themselves via the 42 negative confessions, and every deity concept could be verified through nurture or nature, meaning they didn't worship spook gods or lose sight of the power within themselves. Most importantly, we are a part of, let me explain something to you Christian fools. Now, please understand, cosign you did. You're used to God being separate and indifferent from you. The truth is, what he hid from you now is that we are all gods having a human experience. Now, we're connected to nature. Yes. So nature is the nature, the one God. Now, everything in nature is connected in an ecosystem or whatnot, and you dig. And the humans exist in nature, and we're all a part of nature. And so the point is, everything in nature has a job to do, meaning without everything in nature ceases to function properly. And now, Christians get lost in translation when they try to say that every symbolism of a different facet of nature is a different God. No, they made these depictions or symbolisms just to show you what, for example, a flower is part of nature. A tree is also part of nature, but you don't say a flower is a god or a tree is a god unto itself. They all have a role to do in nature, which means they support, they support nature, and and the system of nature or nature, like so. And the point is, when people's eyes are used to the slave narrative and the Bible, it's hard for them to see and understand reality. Let me tell you something. There's no science in the Bible. There's no reality in the book. Men don't walk on water. Men don't part Red Seas. And men don't die to rise in 3 days. Well, I haven't seen it. And men don't turn water into wine. Fuck it. Now, the reality is the Bible is a myth. Nothing but hypocrisy and half truths in it. Now, we're not going to get too far because we got to stay on track here. You dig. So now, where was I? Getting lost in the sauce of smoke. Now. Let me tell you something. I got a quote for you guys to understand something. There's a lot of little emotional, rhetorical talk on Black YouTube, and they run their mouth. In fact, I'm sure there's a lot of shit talking in his chat room right now, but let me tell you something. A lion loses no sleep over the opinions of a sheep. And I'm addressing ADOS too. Let me tell you something. FBA is all of you. When you run your goddamn mouth against Mother Africa and the ancestors, a lion loses no sleep over the opinions of a sheep. Co-sign that. You heard? You dig. So when you piss on the graves of your ancestors, you disrespect your ancestors. Let me tell you something. Even us living today who are grounded on the square of Black nationalism, Black power, and Pan-Africanism, let me tell you something clearly. Baby doll, sugar dumpling, pull up a chair. Your father and I want you to know. Pan-Africanists at heart, Black nationalists at heart, with Black power as our base, are lions. Now, you foundational Black Americans made by the white oppressor, and we're going to get back into that later, you are sheep. We don't lose no opinions. No sleep over what you think. Fuck you. Now, anyway, this is war shit on a war path, on a war footing. Live and fucking direct. Now, continuing this. I just wanted to say that, you dig? Now, first we're going to pull up a source here on the fear of the Black Messiah. See, you got to understand and overstand, you dig? That what we're disseminating here for you in this dissertation is multifaceted, multi-layered. Now, what we can concur is that your father and I want you to know. There were many weapons used against you to knock you off your square. I told you before, and I'm going to repeat it again, that ADOS is a white nationalist front operation. And Tone Talks is the Negro buffer. And Yvette Carnell is the agent provocateur working for John Tanton. Look it up. But anyway, the point is this. Part of this mindfuck program, which has been long standing in America, the House of North America, was what? Fear of a Black Messiah. Now, hold on. When we say that, let's be clear that we're talking about a political Messiah as well, who's Black. We're talking about a unified diasporic and continental Black Messiah. And so the point is this, co-sign, understand, you dig, that when they cut off a fucking Black Messiah politically, who seeks to unify the diaspora with the continent, that's a big win for them. Why? Because people like Akon and others, Booker T. Washington, Marcus Garvey, who stood on the square of Pan-Africanism, Black power, Black nationalism, showed us how we need to be a nation-building, nationhood people. No, people, as John Henry Clark said, a legless man or a woman is one without land. So when we seek to cut off our motherland, disparage our motherland, talk shit against our motherland, we are emphatically doing the dominant society a great favor. We're going to get back into that later, but I got to pull up a source on this Black Messiah issue. So please stand by because we're going to get into this just to refresh your memory if we have it here with us today. So we're going to pull this shit up. I'm going to look at this chat room too because I know some shit going down in there. But just hold on, though. Hold on, though. We're going to get to it, know what I'm saying? Let me see if we got this here. And we're going to read for you what it is. Now, before we do, let's look at what you guys are saying. For Righteous Black Folks Home says, Motherland is yours. All yours, Ma'at. And Flame says, Black Power, I guess. And you dig. King Wolf Clan salutes Sister Queen. She says, preach. You know, New World Order laughs at me. And so now, let's go. Well, first off, let's make sure. Okay, we're going to continue. We're going to read for you about the fear of a black messiah real quick to break this down and bring context to this issue, the greatest issue we're facing under ADOS right now in Black America. So what we're going to do in addition to is we're going to cut away from, please, this ancient Kemetic depiction here, just to talk about fear of a black messiah. But hold on, we're on a second here. I want to make sure. Whew. Yeah. Before we do that, let's break down this black woman is God thing I told you about earlier. See, when you go into an ancient tomb, this picture on your screen is what you see on the ceilings. Now, that's a black woman stretched over her father, holding her up. You see the stars on her body, and at night she swallows the sun, gives birth to it the next day. This is the hieroglyph. This is that scene. Now, store it in your mind. Anyway, moving back forward to what we must do here. Right and exact, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you don't want this smoke, I'm pretty sure, baby doll sugar dumpling. Brace yourself. Let's get into fear of a black messiah real quick. Keep it pushing. Now, the U.S. government's efforts to discredit Martin Luther King and the civil rights leaders illustrate the links to which it will go to stifle left-wing movements. Fuck left-wing moves. We're talking about black power movements. Man, these people, they know how to use deception. 40 years ago, and I'm reading from The Guardian. This is a piece they did. Co-sign that, overstand, you dig. Now, 40 years ago today, a bullet severed the spine of a man whom many the world over thought of as Prince. We have all seen the picture of the hotel balcony where the Prince stood and fell, surrounded by his entourage, all pointing presumably in the direction from which the bullet came. All but one. One man was not standing, not pointing, but kneeling by Martin Luther King. Now, we don't co-sign Martin Luther King in Intelligent Black Society. This is their article. I'm just reading it. Now, anyway. Presumably checking to see if or that he was dead. The man, Muriel McAuliffe, was an undercover police officer who had infiltrated King's circle. According to Time magazine, he worked for the Central Intelligence Agency at least as far back as 1974. You dig. Now, let's keep it pushing. What interests could an intelligence agency have in a man who plainly believed only in peace? In August 1967, 4 months after King called the U.S. government the greatest purveyor of violence in the world, today, 3 months after 30 members of the Black Panther Party marched armed into California state capitol and onto the front pages of newspapers worldwide, J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the KKK's domestic law enforcement agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Alphabet Boys, issued the purpose of this new counterintelligence misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize hate-type organizations and groupings, membership, and supporters. Now, they've got some crap right here. And it's really breaking up my screen, but that's okay. We're gonna keep it pushing. By the hate-type organizations, Hoover explained that he meant such groups as the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, King's Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the Conference or Congress of Racial Equality, and the Nation of Islam, the group of Malcolm X, or the group Malcolm X belonged to until shortly before his 1965 murder in February 1968, there was a massive demonstration in support of the then imprisoned leader of the Black Panthers, Stokely Carmichael. And H. Rap Brown merged SNCC with the Panthers. Hoover issued another directive: prevent the rise of a messiah who could unify and electrify the militant black nationalist movement. Oh, bitch. No, she didn't. Yes, I did, I said. And let me remind you, Hoover issued another directive: prevent the rise of a messiah who could unify, electrify the militant black nationalist movement. Now, let me pause for a minute to say this to all of you listening to the sound of my voice, that ADOS, FBAs, is a white nationalist front operation. Under direction of John Tanton, supervisor, agent provocateur Yvette Carnell, Negro buffer Tone Talks. Now, the thing is, they understand people like Akon and others threatening to unify the diaspora with the continent of Africa, which means it's end game point for the dominant society. Why? Because when the resources of Mother Africa are directed for black Africans as well as continental Africans, America, diasporically or continentally or otherwise, the fact is this: that it's a wrap. Because right now, through Willie Lynch and self-hate, black people continentally and diasporically don't care about our labor, our talents, or ourselves enough to care about our talents, fruits, and labors and resources being redirected to the dominant society. So the fact of the matter is, if we view Mother Africa as an athlete, global athlete, we can conclude, overstand, you dig, that she, just like a Venus Williams here or Serena Williams here, all of her talents are being diverted not for her and her kind, but for the dominant society. Take it or let it alone. It is what it is. So that's that. But the point of ADOS, their end game, their goal has been achieved. No check has come and no check has been promised. They want to break up, prevent in the 21st century the rise of a black political messiah. Believe you me when I tell you, when they see people like Akon steering up shit, reaching across the aisle with Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, black power, overstand, cosign, you dig, they are afraid. See, Negroes are thinking about horizontal bullshit. Negroes are talking about gossip train shit. Negroes are bullshit. Negroes have dropped the ball. And so, Negroes can't see these things, but I'm going to tell you something. When you say it's a post-racial world, slap your mama, fool. The truth is, we haven't got there yet. And your open, diametrically opposed enemy is preying on you every solitary goddamn day. And so, they see things like that and they quiver. While you're drinking 40s and smoking a blunt, they quiver at the sight of your progress. See, there's two things the dominant society fears most: an educated Negro and Pan-Africanist, black nationalist, black power Negro. Take it or let it alone. Now, the fact is this: you've been played. You need to slap your mama. There is no check coming, will be no check coming, and the promises have not been made. Nothing has been promised to you. Why are you out here disrespecting your ancestors and your mother's ancestors? Oh, you make me sick. You homogenized, boot-licking, buck-dancing, ass-licking, sissified, punctified Negroes make me sick. Now, you don't have to take my word for it, know what I'm saying? Just look it up. History is best fuck it. History is best qualified to press. Fuck it. You better enjoy these points. But the point is, history is most qualified to qualify the present and the future. Co-sign that. And the point is, every time you Negroes make strides, the enemy throws you off the square with distraction after distraction. Popeye's chicken, fucking homosexual hit pieces in the news, Jeffrey Epstein, and the likes of it. You've got to learn how to think for yourself. You got to learn how to be grounded in the truth. You got to learn how to pursue the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you Amen Ra. That's what you must do. And stop jiving out here. Take it or let it alone. Now, we're cooking now. Ooh, we're hot, but we're not done yet, baby doll. No. The point is this. I don't need to read no more of that. You heard it for yourself. Oh, man. The fact is, let's let this smoke clear a little bit. Without a doubt, I can tell you, John Nothing said, fuck it. Well, stand by. The comment got flagged by our moderators. Anyway, let me look at something real quick. I want to see what people are fucking saying in here. You dig? Let me see. What is John? Yeah, what is John Nothing saying? You know what? This is bullshit. We don't give a damn. But if you get out of line, Sugar Don, you will be blocked. I'm just letting you know. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and continue this here. Now, let's keep it pushing, ladies and gentlemen, in Black America. Now, we're cooking here. Uh-oh, wait a minute. We're having some problems, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand by. All right, so what we're doing here is we want to tell you what's at stake here is a Black Messiah. It's more than what it sounds like. Don't get hung up on the words. We're not talking about Jesus coming back and cracking the sky with a chariot of fire. We're talking about a literal living man or a woman with an overstanding of Pan-Africanism, Black nationalism, Black power to edify this Black globe, the fear of a Black planet. That's what we're talking about. And they're loving this right now like it's Mickey D's. All these Negroes who were making strides, mind you, like Alvin and the Chickmunks and his Hidden Colors platform. He was making strides, and now he's fallen to an all-new time low, telling us all that, oh, fuck your ancestors and fuck foreign-born. Do you know you just helped the goddamn white man prevent a Black Messiah, fool? Slap your mama up. So sick of you. You know what? Let me go in real quick because I'm so sick of you, nigga. I gotta tell you what. I said it earlier, but I'm reinforce it again. A lot of you Negroes are over 50 years old. Now, I'm not saying all over 50 years old are not edifying, because Sonetta is edifying. I don't know how old he is, but the point is, I'll take him over Tariq Nasheed any day. We gotta call people the fuck out, man. The hell with the professional nigger courtesy. Just because he's Black like me, he can rape my daughter. No more. Now, the more strides we made, the more investments our ancestors have made, the further we backslide as a goddamn people. And that shit is embarrassing and sickening. Don't you remember at your core? Do you not have honor? Hell is wrong with you. Talking about, anyway, I gotta calm down, ladies and gentlemen. Let me calm down. Anyway, the point is this. Anyway, do we have something we can cut to here? Oh my God. And you know what? Let me take a minute here, because, we're gonna, we're gonna cut away from, we don't want to bore you to death. So now, get back to this here. We're going in now. We're going in. Let me tell you this. Black people have the tallest people in the world and the shortest people in the world. Ethnically, Africans are a diverse people. So the foundational Black American jive is no escape from being African. Now, I was put onto that fact from Baba Mfudishi, Black Power. Yeah, most of you fools don't even know who he is. Baba Mfudishi. Salute. Now, how the hell can we separate ourselves with this Negro psychobabble saying, if you're foreign born, you're not one of us? Anyway, we're going to keep it pushing. Now, the burning of the cross by the Klan, I want to submit to you, is a century old. They are the only people domestically, and the only domestic terrorist group allowed to operate and terrorize and murder for a century. And no, they don't know. Well, let me just say this before I go there. What I want to tell you is, I got to slow my roll. No, they're allowed to operate over a century. Please co-sign that, you dig. And no, they don't let outsiders in. No Negroes allowed into the KKK or the cross-burning ceremony. But I turn around and what do I see? You so-called B1 Negroes, all the way to the NOI, let white people in. Your interracial dating, you make me sick. Where are your standards? Because your enemy does not let you in. Anyway, black so-called military vets are a shame. Because the only thing they refuse to say or admit they fought for in war, in the white man's war, is the right, the freedom, and the liberty to be black and proud. I've never heard of one of them veteran Negroes, safe Negroes, house Negroes tell me it's okay to be pro-black. But they damn sure fought for people of color. And your diametrically opposed enemy. You make me sick. Now we're talking about the house Negro, so please, I beg you, pull it up. Let's show them a depiction of the house Negro so they understand cosign, you dig. Now, man, oh boy, we're going to get into Save Negroes in just about a minute here soon to come. But I ain't heard of one veteran Negro all happy now with a GI Bill and all of that tell me he fought and died or was wounded, making sacrifices for black power, black nationalism, Pan-Africanism. Now, if you can find one, please let me know. But I haven't heard one of these traitors stand on Pan-Africanism, black power, black nationalism. You make me sick, you the white man's Negro. ADOS are the new house Negroes. Let's cut away and let Malcolm X speak to you from the grave on the house Negro. This is an opportune time for it. Please stand by, Black America. Please stand fast. We're going to bring it up now to show you all what it is. He's going to remind you who the house Negroes are, and I'm going to break it down when he's finished. So pull up a chair, strap in. Yvette Carnell, you're welcome. Bring your son, your stepson, Alvin and the Chickmunks, and your Negro buffer, Tone Talks, Antonio Moore. Pull up a chair. I'm going to let him tell you himself. Now, I don't know, or first before, well, I'm going to let him tell you better than I can tell you myself. So please stand by. We're going to let him tell you himself, speaking from beyond the grave. Now, I don't know if this is queued up yet, so please stand by. Please.
Back during slavery, when black people like me talked to the slaves, they didn't kill him. They'd send some old house Negro along behind him to undo what he said. You have to read the history of slavery to understand this. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check. He put them back on the plantation. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master. Good diction. And he loved his master more than his master loved himself. That's why he didn't want his master hurt. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. He never wanted his master's property threatened. And he was more defensive of it than the master was. That was the house Negro. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. They wore the worst kind of clothes, they ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash. They hated their master. Oh, yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died. If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two. And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes. Yeah. I'm a field Negro.
Okay. Let's calm our energy, ladies and gentlemen, please. Give me a hot minute. Let's do this. We about to go in, please. I'm a war general. This is what I do. Now, let me load my shit. We about to bang. Oh, shit. Now, he said, I'm a field Negro. He said, now let me break it down for you real quick. Because now, the house Negro expected handouts and government-sponsored cheese from the white man. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna pause before I go in because I want it hardcore when I tell you this. I'm a slave. No, wait a minute. I'm a field Negro. And a field Negro don't expect a goddamn thing from the white man. Black power! Black power! Black power! Now, this is where ADOS comes in, and you foundational black American house Negroes. Listen, you're on my radar today. You're done. I'm gonna body you again. I got something for you. Ooh, it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna make it hurt so good. Yeah. Ooh. Now, see, the thing is, your father and I want you to know. No. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not against reparations. Cut the check. However, as a field Negro, my fire in my veins, the blood of a man slaves in my veins, cannot be bought. The slave auctions are gone. I don't coon, skin and grin, shuck and jive for a goddamn thing in white America. I demand what I want. I take what I want. Give me liberty or give me death. And reparations is icing on the cake. You still owe me. But first, the first requisite for Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, black power, is to do for self. See, no race or nation on this earth depended on the enemy. Mind you, the Tom who is the enemy of the world. No race on this globe, sugar dog, depended on them to get great, to be great, and damn you. No nation on this earth but a Negro, deaf, dumb, and blind, lost in the sauce. In the hells of America, KKK, I will play that game. Now, let me tell you something. Co-sign over saying you dig that. The Japanese did not play that game. They didn't come here and say, fuck Japan. This is our homeland. The foundation. No. Despite the fact they were put in camps, they could say, yes, that was our lineage, but they did not. It's nonsensical. It is tomfoolery. It is betrayal to the racial decree. Black power. Now, the thing is, I want you to know something. As exceptional people we built on this last week. The thing of it is, co-signing for saying you dig that. When you're an exceptional people, what tends to happen is your enemy, number one, enemy of the state. You are pedigree to the predators. And so they, all of them, seek to destroy you, to defame you. And when you don't know yourself, when you are exceptional, you fall prey to all the weapons against you, socially, economically, and racially. I want to make it clear that ADOS is a white nationalist front operation seeking to kill off the chances of a black messiah. Let me tell you something. The black messiah, we can't just depend on the black messiah to come from black America. Dysfunction's too high. We need our unity in our numbers to be cohesive, to be sustainable as a people, to be tangible. No, wait a minute. We don't want to prolong, but let me just make this point before I go back in that we need to be smarter than this, folks. A house Negro is the one who's primed to be misled by, oh, let's wait for the white man, let's wait for a savior. Let's let him usurp, replace who the savior is. Now, they didn't went through, savior was first, white Jesus. And then he went to the mulatto, the Obamas of the world. And then he went to the latest trick, which is, we'll give him a open-ended non-promise of money. And then we're going to replace Jesus with money, expectations of money. And that's all we're going to give him. And then when it's time to show and prove, we're going to leave him high and dry. And let me tell you something. No check is coming. They have served their purpose. Now, it takes a Pan-Africanist, black nationalist, black power, war general, battle-hardened to overstand this. There is no check coming. I'm sorry, you've been made a political pawn. Yet again, because you're so exceptional. One of the root reasons for this pain is you've been taught through torture and bondage. You've beat you to a bloody pulp to run for yourself, to hate yourself. Now, the reason why this is such a threat for an exceptional people is that you've been the one the world worked the fuck over. The one the world has used and abused and lied to. You are the one who needs to do better for yourself and by yourself, goddamn you. And right now, all I'm seeing is jive. 236 years of jive. Niggas telling me that we're a foundation here in America. Haven't been the foundation to shit since Black Wall Street and Renaissance Harlem. Take it or let it alone. But now you're letting the same aging provocateurs, the same arch deceivers ride in overnight under the cloak of secrecy and Negro buffers tell you a check is coming. Well, let's piss on our ancestors, all the work that they did, and let's forsake all that they did. Let's set the race back another 236 years. And let's double talk. Let's say we're waiting for tangibles. We want tangibles, but then on the other hand, claim to be Americans, but don't want to vote. Oh, more is to come. Let's continue, because we're going back to this again. So I got to keep the flow going here real quick. So now the thing is this. Where were we? We're talking about the house Negro now. And it's going to get deep, people, so brace yourself. It's about to get deep. Now, let's talk about segregation. Because this is where the plot starts to thicken in Black America. Now, not only did the Moors sell us out eons ago, we can concur, overstand, you dig, that. See, I'm tired of Negroes, for one. Let me say this. Come to me saying that and you're going to hear this in this video we're going to play soon on Yvette Carnell, but after my call, people were calling in saying, oh, Miss Yvette Carnell, the ADOS movement is just as essential as the civil rights era. Full stop. Pump your brakes. Chill for a minute. Hold that thought. Because your father and I want you to know, in an intelligent new black society, we don't give a damn about civil rights. That was when we were sold out. Let me tell you something. We were sold out. That was when the baby boomer generation betrayed us. That was when Martin Luther King sold us out and integrated us into a burning house. Co-sign it, take it or let it alone. You dig. It is what it is. You got to get with the times, people. The stats, the bar has been risen. We no longer are operating like it's the baby boomer generation. God, I'm sick of you slow-ass Negroes. We're going to get back into that now. Let's continue. Now, the point we're making here today, without fail, with and through black excellence in black broadcasting, co-sign that. Yes, now, we're talking about house Negroes. But now we're going to talk about segregation. Now, segregation was good for black America. Please don't mistake my words. Segregation was good for black America. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel. What it is, what it is. Segregation and anti-miscegenation laws were good for us. Weak ass Negroes make me sick. Let's continue. Now we're going to talk about the unfortunate Brown versus Board of Education. And we're going to talk about the unfortunate Supreme Court decision. And we're going to pull that up soon. But first, let's talk about Brown versus the Board of Education. No. See, no. The Supreme Court outlawed segregation or segregated public education facilities for blacks and whites at the state level. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 superseded all state and local laws requiring segregation. Bad business for black people. Now, moving forward. Black people prevailed and conquered all economic markets historically in Renaissance Harlem, before that in Black Wall Street. That blessed spirit has been imbued in our psyche since our inception in Mother Africa, or should I say, Akubulan. Black power. Keep up with me, or you get lost in the sauce and the smoke and the brimstone and fire. Take it or let it alone. No. Akubulan, a.k.a. Africa, from Cyprico Africanus. Take it, or let it alone, or drop it like a hot potato. It is what it is. We come from abundance, and because of this, we became masters at honing natural resources beyond the wildest of expectations. And in doing so, we opened up a cipher of talent exclusive only to the ancient Kemetic, or a.k.a. Africans. Now, through melanin too, you dig. Now, we are an exceptional people. Now, we are indeed exceptional. From our hair texture to our skin tone, melanin has been another area we call biological excellence that we dominate in. Sugar, can you take it? You dig. Now, we are gifted naturally through Mother Africa, the nature, to be successful in and dominate all areas of activity. But hold on. I want to show you something. We're talking about black excellence right now, so please keep up with me. Now, what we're going to show you is something very eye-opening here that you cannot refute. Now, I'm just so tired of people thinking the solution is we will wait and see. We'll wait and see if we'll get a fucking check. Man, I'm going to tell you why you're poor. But anyway, let's continue. Now, 3 generations of great black men and women in ancient Kemet, for example, the Egyptians had to invent mathematics, geometry, surveying, metallurgy, astronomy, accounting, writing, paper, medicine, the ramp, the lever, the plow, mills for grinding grain, and all the paraphernalia that goes with large organized societies. Now, historical empirical evidence shows that pyramids were created for King Zoser between 2667 to 2648 BC, before the Common Era. Now, medicine was created by Imhotep. Co-sign that, take it, or let it alone. No, wait a minute. More than that, black men should strive to become pharaohs and be like the ancient Egyptian pharaoh. Why? Why, sister girl? Because the pharaoh was the most powerful person in ancient Egypt. Mark my words. Do you feel lucky, punk? Huh? You dig? No. The point is, the pharaoh was the political and religious leader of the ancient Kemetic people, holding the titles of Lord of the two lands and high priest of every temple as a lord of the two lands. Pharaoh was the ruler of Upper and Lower Kemet. Through this research, we can conclude that in present times, we need a black messiah or political pharaoh, one with a uncompromised and political agenda for black people. And yes, we must get behind him and her and vote. Women were kings and rulers in ancient Kemet also, so we must also get behind the black woman political pharaohs or queens. Adolf seeks to detour us off the quest of black messiahs. Their white nationalist sleeper cell agenda, called ADOS and Foundational Black Americans, has arrived and has served its only purpose as quiet as it's fucking kept. To prevent a black messiah. But in context, their job is to prevent a black political messiah or pharaoh. And if we continue to follow them, that political black ruler will never rise or come. I'm not talking about spook gods either. Co-sign that, take it or let it alone. You dig? I'm talking about we are all gods and God is just having a human experience. Take it or let it alone. Black power. And thus forward. Our human black experience can and must be likened to hell. Because through the slave plantation, integration, and seeking a white savior, we have let the God in all of us die. The white race is the only one who knows the importance of honing the God within. Oh my God, you ain't ready for this. But you let the God within all of you die. It's a shame. Now let's focus on the Reconstruction era real quick. Oh boy, because this gets juicy and hot right now. See now, Black Reconstruction era in America, KKK, the hails of America, KKK, in 1865 began. Now first let's acknowledge that we are a force to reckon with. Who's the we? Black people, globally. No. Now let's be clear. We are forced to reckon with and are unstoppable only when we know who we are and what we are. And when we're on the throne ruling, not begging. During Reconstruction, when we were so-called allegedly emancipated, could read and write and all this jargon and bullshit and bells and whistles and horse and pony shows. Quiet as it's kept. You dig. Now, let's continue. During the moment we allegedly became free, which we did not, and we learned to read and write, and we're now entitled to rights and resources, the recessive Tomhu race, the dominant society, were terrified. They knew they could not compete with us from a standpoint of equality, justice, and fairness. Take it or let it alone. The mic is hot. 3-pointer from half court. The alley-oop. The assist from Stephon Curry. Now, they had to, quote, reconstruct the entire goddamn country. Did you hear me? They had to reconstruct the country. And the world, believe it or not, as quiet as it's kept, but they had to reconstruct the entire goddamn country to equal the goddamn playing field. As quiet as it's kept, the KKK, the Dred Scott decision, African Exclusion Act, Jim Crow laws, made it illegal for blacks to vote, lynchings and segregation was the Reconstruction. And Reconstruction was the mocking or moving, the moving of the goalpost, so that the weaker race could keep up. You won't hear this from ADOS people. You won't hear this from the ADOS camp. All they do over there is tell you fear-mongering stories to get you on board, to make you co-sign. Well, let's avoid on the white man. Papa, give me a check. Massa, we sick today? Yes, massa. We'll wait and see. You make me sick. No. The point is, they had to reconstruct the whole goddamn country to keep pace with the original, exceptional people, black people. Now, Reconstruction also brought about anti-miscegenation laws. And as noted earlier, segregation and anti-miscegenation, these two fundamental elements of Reconstruction were actually good for black people. Please don't misunderstand this. They were perfect and on point. Now, the point is, oh man, let's keep it pushing. But we had become lesser versions of ourselves thanks to our enslavement, bondage, and torture. The ruler spirit in us, most certainly, in our men, had died out. And acting as peasants or wards of the state in a subject position, black men sought relationships with white women. We know that Jack Johnson, the great boxer in the early 1900s, pursued a white woman. And there is a historical record, McLaughlin versus Florida, where a black man fought in court to be with a white woman in 1964, among other things. The point is, we fell from grace. We forgot who the fuck we are. We forgot what we are. We forgot the extent of our power. Anyway, marrying people who look like us is actually best for us. The exceptional people and our men need to understand this. The black man should build for, provide for, and establish a system of capitalism internally, racially, selfishly for the black people. Let me be more clear. The black woman and child. You dig? ADOS never makes any claims that we should do for self. They never venture to remind us how great we are. In fact, all they do is fearmonger us to death with how lynching set us back, how racism caused the wage gap, how redlining and gentrification has caused us to be barred from doing for self or barred from winning, as quiet as this cap, when nothing could be further from the truth. Truth is, we stopped doing for self. We stopped marrying people who look like us. And that's why we fail to this current day, this present day. And that's why we're at the bottom globally. The 80-20 principle suggests that when applied to our plight, that if we give 20% effort every single solitary fucking day to do for self collectively, we will reap the benefit of 80% of results that empower us, free us mentally, and overall will elevate us from a place at the bottom to the top of the world again, where we belong. You dig? Since slavery, integration, and the eradication of anti-miscegenation laws, we have fallen from grace. ADOS's job is to ensure that we never remember who we are and that we never rise to excellence again. Why? Why, sister girl? Because if we were instructed not to vote and to seek tangibles from the dominant society, we will remain in a stagnant, stunned, ungrowing, declining, permanent position because no reparations are common sugar dumpling and have not been backed by a goddamn thing. There is no guarantee that we will get a check. Point blank. Mark my words, feeling lucky, punk. Now, you dig. The reality is that as of right now, every living black person, just about on the collective scale, give or take, gives a dedicated 20% of effort to build the infrastructure of the white society. And the overall result of that is 80% of oppression, poverty, inferiority complex, and a place at the bottom globally. Shit, I gotta repeat it. The 80% is the result of oppression, poverty, inferiority. Pump your brakes. Is oppression, poverty, inferiority complex, a place at the bottom globally. When I say a place at the bottom globally, I'm talking about continentally and diasporically. We have been bit by the same colonial, colonizing, oppressive dog. We will refer to him as Fido, Mr. Willie Lynch. So now, we're seeing the same play out globally, internationally, domestically. You can't refute it. It is what it is. So there is no separation of a so-called rhetorical, as it is, foundational black American from a continental black. We are African. Hey, hold on a minute. I'm going to let you hear a man speak from beyond the grave and tell you and remind you that we are Africans, boy. Hold up. Let's bring it up. Because they ain't ready for this smoke we building, and you know what? You need patience, not ADHD, to take this. Oh, I hope you took your Ritalin today. Shit, we just getting started to cook. Now, let's bring it up, because they don't get it. Now, please give us a hot moment to find it. All right, here we go. I hope there's no... But hey, stand by.
African Americans, or so-called Negro. One of the reasons that it is bad for us to continue to just refer to ourselves as so-called Negro, that's negative. When we say so-called Negro, that's pointing out what we aren't, but it isn't telling us what we are. We are African, and we happen to be in America. We're not American. We are people who formerly were Africans who were kidnapped and brought to America. Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us. We were brought here against our will. We were not brought here to be made citizens. We were not brought here to enjoy the constitutional gifts that they speak so beautifully about today. And because we weren't brought here to be made citizens today, now that we've become awakened to some degree and we begin to ask for those things which they say are supposedly for Americans, they look upon us with hostility and unfriendliness. So our unwanted presence, the fact that we are unwanted, is becoming magnified in all of America's preachments today.
Well, you heard it. You heard. The thing is this. We are Africans. The thing is, people, black America, let's be specific. We have to be deliberate. We have to be full-throated. Now, the thing is, we are Africans, not foundational black America. I told you, identity politics serves you not. And the thing is, you just heard one of the greatest black men historically, one of the greatest, not the only, but one of the greatest, tell you himself, we are Africans. How can you argue with peer-reviewed empirical evidence? You have an opinion, sir, Alvin and the Chickmunks, Mr. Author, producer of Hidden Colors. You have an opinion, and opinions are like what? Like what, sister girl? Like assholes. Everyone has one. Take it or let it alone. You dig. Co-sign it. Slap your mama. But the fact is this, and the fact remains, you played yourself. You should have checked yourself before you played yourself and broke yourself, fool. And you misled yourself and your people. Now, the fact of the matter is, let's move forward. I'm going to cover some more bases here. Didn't want to be long, but damn it. I'm going to be strong. Know what I'm saying? Now, anyway. We're going to move forward here. We got more to come. We're just starting to cook. Now, let's do this. Okay. Okay. I'm going to repeat this part. Truth is, we stopped doing for self. We stopped marrying people who look like us. We stopped doing for self, bottom line. And that's why we failed. Now I'm going to continue to say, since slavery, integration, and eradication of anti-miscegenation laws is why we have fallen from grace. And now I'm going to say this. It is no mystery that most who champion for or support ADOS liken it to the second most prominent work since the civil rights movement. Pfft, what a joke. Pause. We in the new intelligent black society, the new black media, know for a fact the black baby boomer generation betrayed us. Take it or let it alone. Sold us out. Why are we now falling for a refurbished white Jesus, white savior, economic integration to white money? And more than that, white society all over again. Why are we falling for this again? Yes, they owe us reparations, but it is a deadly cocktail, believe it or not. The receiving money from the enemy will liberate us socially, economically, and otherwise. Please slap your mama. Check yourself for a pulse. Well, the truth is, black unity, doing for self, and separation are the best solutions. I didn't say it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it. May he rest in power. Malcolm X said it. My spiritual father, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, said it. It is what it is. Many have said it, but you weren't listening. Anyway, let's talk about the Negro Leagues. We're going to give you some context now. You did? You heard? Now, let's talk about the Negro Leagues. Please, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Now, anyway, the fact is this. Stay on your toes, stay sharp, think fast, because we ain't slowing down. Now, let's pull up the Negro Leagues depiction. So you may follow us and where we're going. Now, please give me a hot minute. All right, because I know. All right. Uh-oh. Producers, what are you all? All right. Now, let's get to it. Fuck the fooling around. You heard? Let's get right to it. This is what we do in Black Centcom, Black Excellence. Via Pan-Africanism, Black Nationalism, Black Power. Please co-sign that. You dig. Now, let's talk about the Negro Leagues. The Negro Leagues are another area we can use to show how we, as a people, have failed. It's funny how everyone's crying about the treatment the bastard Colin Kaepernick received. Oh my God. Well, that's not even close to the truth of why we in sports fail. See, and it's not close to the truth of why we are treated like slaves on a $40 million plantation. We let our own leagues, the Negro Leagues, die. That's why we're so mistreated in sports and entertainment. So instead of crying, bitching, and moaning that we need to let Kaepernick play, Daddy, please let him play. And instead of bitching and crying, hold on, that why the NFL needs to let him play and it needs to give us a seat at the table, which will never happen anyway, because this puppeteer, what do you call it, pacified seat at the table is bullshit. We're not going to get back into that. Let's move along. Now, moaning that the white NFL needs to let him play and we need a seat at the table is bullshit. Just like a reparations check will never come through, I tell you, please mark my words, white America KKK will never come. How about we be honest for once and admit we have to separate and do for self? In all areas of activity, damn you. We need our own. It's nation time. The Negro Leagues were established around 1906 and died out by 1958. Let me tell you that the dominant society got exactly what they wanted. They knew all the talented players came from the Negro Leagues. Jackie Robinson, can I dig it? Can you dig it? Can you smell what the queen, my art girl, is cooking? Number 42. He was in the Negro Leagues. Look it up. Now, the thing is, the Negro Leagues lost talent to the white leagues. White scouts would come and linger at Negro League games and slide up to the black players with blood money contracts to steal them away from black society so that their talents would go to serve and enrich the dominant Tom Who society. Take it or let it alone. Again, we can look at the 80-20 rule and observe 20% of black labor leads to 80% of white dominance and wealth. For the Negro, like Jackie Robertson, he ends up with the 80% inferiority complex and 20% of a pot to piss in. 80% of the inferiority complex and 20% of a pot to piss in. Can I get an arm and round? Now, this is black excellence at work. Please catch your breath. I know it's hard to digest, but please, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to romance you. I'm here to make you think. I'm here to make you uncomfortable, and damn you, you will know who you are. Now, did you know that the first greatest slugger or hitter in Major League Baseball was a black man by the name of Josh Gibson? Can you take it? He hit 60 to 70 home runs a single season. I didn't stutter. 60 to 7. Oh, fuck, it's too hot in here. I'm going to have an orgasm. I said 60 to 70 home runs. Every solitary fucking season. Now, he was compared to the likes of Babe Ruth. And I quote, he was quoted as being better than Babe Ruth. Now, ask yourself, why you've never heard of Josh Gibson? Oh my God, I can't understand. Goddamn. Well, you want to hide something from a Negro, put it in a book, they say. That's why. Again, they don't want you to know who you are, but continue, please continue, sister girl. Anyway, Josh Gibson played in the Negro Leagues in 1930 to 1946. The reason that the dominant society sought to acquire the black talent from the Negro Leagues is because they wanted the wealth. Did I stutter? They wanted the wealth. Oh my God, they wanted the wealth. No, she didn't. Yes, I did. Produced by the Negro Leagues. All for themselves. Now, in order to pull off the imminent collapse of the Negro Leagues, what did they need? What did they need, sister girl? They needed to divert the money to the white hands. They needed a safe Negro, and I told you the safe Negro would come up again in this dissertation. Now, please bear with me. Now, what is a safe Negro? Who is a safe Negro? I'm going to tell you what a safe Negro. Now, for those of you who may not know it, catch my breath. Jackie Robinson was, and let me slow down to say this. He was an educated Negro, number one. He went to college, was educated. More than that, he served in the white man's military. So he was an educated Negro. And more than that, perfect candidate for becoming the white man's house Negro. Now, the point is, perfect for becoming, prone for becoming the white man's Negro, to collapse the Negro Leagues. Now, let's also look at the analogy, or this analogy, rather. Africa is I'm going to remind you of this, to be exact. Africa is a global athlete, and she performs for white society, meaning all of her resources come out of her to help the dominant society. In the end, her people have a 20% pot to piss in which is nothing really to shake a stick at. The same is true for American Negroes or American Negro athletes. They give their effort, labor, broken bones, tumors, fractures, sweat and tears to make white owners, organizations, companies wealthy, while this black society gets nothing in return. If the Negro leagues, the Negro schools, Negro nail shops, agriculture, labor unions, corporations, media, transportation services, oil wells, etc., 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 had not died out, would it stand to reason we would be wealthy today, not a mere 2% of the wealth gap? Overstand it, take it, or let it alone. Now, let's say this. It is possible black people with an inferiority slave mindset seeking to integrate into white society did more than lead us astray, did more than sell us out. What they actually did was rob themselves blind. It's what they did. They cut off the wealth, generations and generations and eons of their grandbabies, future youths. Anyway, we could get more into the Negro Leagues. I don't want to waste your time. Let's talk about black music industry, because again, this is a landmark area in which we have failed ourselves. For the last 236 years in the halls of America, KKK, we have failed to do for self and build an infrastructure for ourselves. Now, let's talk about the black record business. So we're going to take a chill moment and a chill pill to talk about it. Now, let's pull up the sources here, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to cook right now. Please understand that. Co-sign it, you dig. Take it, or let it on but your father. And I want to make it get clear what we're talking about. I'm getting too excited. I've got to stop myself, or I run away with ya. Now, let's do this. Now, moving away from the Negro Leagues, let's look at another area for infrastructure that we failed in. Now, anyway, we're going to talk about the music industry. Now, had it not been for integrating into white everything and labels like, well, let's say this again. Let's start over. Had it not been for integrating into white everything, labels like Motown and others with their talented, gifted artists such as Little Richard, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Frankie Lou, Nat King Cole, Sammy Davis Jr., and others would have fueled Black America, as well as those Negro League players, would have fueled Black America economically. And we would not have been robbed blind by white executives stealing the royalties and copyrights or underpaying us or them, black people, historically, for context. Also know that black music goes way back to the 1800s, not just the 1900s. Now, I'm going to name, I'm going to keep it pushing. We're not going to pull up sources. You get it. And now here's the problematic thing about the black music early era, like the 50s, 20s, 40s. Now, we had our own at one time in Black Renaissance Harlem. But what had happened was after integration, we went into the white belly of the beast. And what occurred is we integrated. So everything was now on the white monopoly board. So now in this game of life, what did they do? First, they wouldn't show the black artist's face on their own record album covers. They whitewashed everything. I'm telling you, when they did show our faces, the safe Negroes like Nat King Cole had perm in their hairs, light on their skin to make them appear white. Thus is where the inferiority complex was strengthened, born, rebirthed in us. And so now, consequently, everybody's saying to themselves, who happens to be black, how can I be more safe for the white man? Now, this is where shit like ADOS becomes the new house Negro, because now we're trading in the Pan-Africanist, black nationalist, black power agenda for a we'll wait and see. Yes, a massa. We'll be good. We're going to get into it. I'm going to show you the video. Steadfast. But the thing is this. You start cleaning it up. You start auditioning for white America. You start skinning, cooning, and grinning to be accepted instead of doing for self unapologetically. That's the thing. I don't like how Negroes are talking funny style now. It's bullshit. Let's talk about black movie stars. Because it's the same game. We can concur, and I'm going to name off some, so stand by. I'm going to tell you what I know, not what I think. See, in life, it's not what you know. It's what you can prove. Black power. See, I ain't running out of steam. Y'all probably nodding off right now, doing your little thing. I'm still fired up. Let's get into it. We got more to do. We're almost there, so please be patient with us. I want to talk about black movie stars. That's what I'm going to do. Because, see, I'm going to name it off for you, just so you know. I'm going to name the black pioneers of the time. Sidney Poitier, yes. Let's talk about it. Because y'all don't hear me. Now, the thing is this. Let's talk about it. There was Hattie McDaniel. We're not going to get into all the work that she did. We're going to name them off. Paul Robeson, Sidney Poitier, Dorothy Dandridge, Oscar McHughes. Fuck, I can't pronounce him. Sorry. You dig? Lena Horne, Harry Belafonte, Ozzie Davis, Ruby Dee. Can you dig it? Noble Johnson, Sammy Davis Jr. Can you take it? Butterfly McQueen, Diane Carroll, or Diane Carroll, however she pronounced it, James Edwards, Stephen Fetchit, Peril Bailey, Louise Beavers, excuse me, Madame Cyril T. Wan, Freddie Washington, Ethel Waters, Eddie Rochester Anderson, Rex Ingram, James Baskett, what a name, Willie Best, Manton Moreland, Lillian Roundoff, Nina Mae McKinney, Louis Armstrong. What a wonderful world. Now, Cab Calloway, Brock Peters, Canada Lee, Woody Strode, Bill Robinson, Hazel Scott, Ruby Dandridge, Teresa Harris, Matthew Stein Beard, Billy Buckwheat Thomas, Ernest Morrison, Eartha Kitt, Nat King Cole, the Saved Negro, Duke Ellington, Catherine Dunham, Herb Jeffries, Juanita Moore. Oh shit, I could go on. We're strapped for time, know what I'm saying? The point is, you're starting to see how integration into the burning house has robbed you blind. You're starting to see how all these areas of activity fueled by black men and women in the thousands, the hundreds, did not fuel our black economies. They fueled the enemy's economy. And to this very fucking day, they continue to fuel the enemy's economy. That's why see, quiet as is kept. I'm going to drop the hammer now. That's why Black America is broke. You Negroes for the last 236 years have been derelict of duty. Take it or let it alone. It is what it is. You failed to do for self-kind. You failed to unify. You failed to separate the best solution. And now that ideology is being strengthened through the white nationalist front operation called ADOS. The language they're using makes me sick. Oh, fuck them, fuck nationhood, fuck Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, you black, whatever, Negroes, and yada, yada, yada. Oh, you niggers have fallen to a new all-time low. Anyway, continuing. We're going to pick right back up here. We're going to get right back in. Now, we talked about the Negro Leagues. We talked about Black American music. Let me tell you, Eddie West will never be this clear, cut, and honest with you, because if they did, the jig would be up for their followers. And while, yes, white America owes us for reparations, right, and should cut the check, Pan-African 2020 tangibles is the way. And beyond, let's understand that once all of Black America realized what I have realized and started to feel their excellence return and understand how much power we have as a race, there's no possible way a Black man or a Black woman would not run to be amongst their own kind and to use their Black excellence for self and kind. There's no way overnight and fast, quick, and in a hurry Blacks would not go from 2% of the wealth gap to 100% of Black wealth. It's a fact. You can take it or let it alone. You can take it to the bank. It is what it is. All right. I'm starting to talk about ADOS. So let's get there. We're almost to the video, the meat and potatoes. Your eyes will be opened. We're talking about it now, people. Oh, yeah, we're talking about it. And we're cooking. I'm going to get to the chat room in a minute. Now let's continue. When we do the math on ADOS, White Nationalist Front Organization, MK Ultra mindfuck for the 20th century Negro, it does not make any sense when we do the math. And the projections do not change our standing or political and social economic condition in the hells of America. Only doing for self do we strive to be better. Only doing for self can we reach global Black dominance and control. Only through unity will we be winners, shakers, and movers again. And yes, white America, still would owe us the reparations, on top of doing for self, Pan-African and 2020 tangibles, and beyond. Now. Black America, that's why we all need to get behind this hashtag, Pan-African 2020 tangibles. Lastly, this stunt called Foundational Black Americans is a fuckboy, misguided agenda fit for a slave and a house Negro. We sick, massa? Remember, family, that we empowered ourselves through revolution, total and complete constructive change. We use Pan-Africanism going back to Kwame Nkrumah, Booker T. Washington, and others. The region across the global owl, continentally and diasporically, to work with Africans abroad. We flew the RBG flag proudly, and we sought marriage with people who looked like us, and we didn't sell out. Under this foundational Black bullshit, they double talk. They say we're foundational Black Americans, but they fence straddle and piggyback off of Mother Africa, aka Akubu Land. Now, what do they piggyback off of? The spiritual systems such as voodoo, Ogun, etc. Well, if you are a separate foundational Black American, then that's your lineage. Those are not your spiritual systems to play with. In fact, white Christianity is your spiritual and religious system because it was the first religion you knew of as an enslaved foundational Black America. Take it or let it alone. Stand on your square. Oh. The FBA crowd double talks and piggybacks off of Kwanzaa, another Pan-Africanist Black nationalist Black power tradition. See, well, how can that be when the first Christmas you ever knew was that of white Santa Claus? Say it ain't so, sister girl, don't hurt 'em. The first Christmas you were delivered to in your bondage was the white Christmas and white St. Nicholas. Don't fuck with me. So be true to your core and celebrate white Christmas and keep your filthy fucking hands off of Mother Africa and her concepts. You make me sick. Now, as a foundational black American, you were separated from your rightful mate. The black man and woman were separated on slave plantations, so follow this. Let me kick some ballistics for your ignorance. Black power. What we're talking about is, see, black men and women were only used to breed super bucks and super mammies. Now, the reality of it is, when they were not forcing breeding upon our ancestors, the rightful mates were the white man raping black women, the bad wenches, and for the black man, the white mistresses took them in the night. Say it ain't so, sister girl. So what this concludes is, it's okay for you to IR date, stop finstraling, stop double talking, stop the hypocrisy. See, if we're going to believe, now, see, first of all, your first spiritual concept or religion was given to you on the slave plantations as a foundational black American. Your first native tongue was the bastard English language. Damn it. And so now, when you were delivered the destructive force of Christianity, the pagan white fake god, boy, we about to fucking annihilate him. Oh, you don't want it. I'm a happy bad daughter of a gun, and in my eyes, you don't want none. Good night. Say good night to the bad girl. It's playtime's over. Let's cook. He ain't ready for it. Let me tell you what it is. On your screen is the Theodosius one. Take it or let it alone. Who was the Theodosius one, sister girl? He was an ancient Roman emperor. And when he came on the scene in ancient Kemet, his job was to destroy ancient Kemet. And what they referred to as pagan belief systems. They closed all the Kemetic temples. They chiseled all the relics and walls, trying to hide the Negroid features. Not only that, there's more. They tried to destroy it all, and that's why today you don't know who the fuck you are. They winged you off your native tongue. They stripped away where you came from. They hid the fossil record of who the fuck you were. God damn you. And on a slave plantation, your theology, your lineage, you got the nerve to piggyback off of John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, and all those revolutionary Pan-Africanist, black nationalist, black power individuals. Fuck you. Because the truth is, you don't get to fence straddle, you don't get to be hypocrites. Your religion was never Kemetic on the plantation. Now stand on what you are and who you are. If you say you're a foundational black American made by the white man, the white man's nigger, be it. I need a minute. Oh, shit. I'm so sick of you Negroes. You make me sick. You don't stand for shit. All you stand for is platform whoring to make $1 and a quick buck. You make me sick. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I need a drink. Oh, fuck it. Let me stop to say this. Black match eye up. Dagger is up. Black 21 gun salute. Black fist up. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black African. Unapologetic, uncompromising power. You have just been bodied, ADOS. Stand on what you are and who you are. Don't fuck with me and don't hustle me. Black people are not to be played with. You make me sick. You are a product of the goddamn white man. Say it ain't so. Say it isn't so. You make me sick. Because the truth is, this man on your screen destroyed Kemet. He destroyed the knowledge of yourself. And then they raised you up again. One that came from the Tom Who with a tiger's paw, the eagle's claw, the grip that wouldn't slip, nigger. They made you again, but they refused to make you whole. Something is missing inside of you. And they told you, you come from slavery. Your history began in slavery and servitude, rape and bondage and genocide. And they gave you 230 chapters of a white Bible, homoerotic King James, and told you the white man was God. You see it all of motherfucking Africa. Today is a white Jesus. Live and direct. You got the nerve to tell me, you have the nerve to question me why there's so much Willie Lynch disease on the continent as well as the diaspora. You make me sick. We're talking about a 1,500-year ongoing race war in the hails globally of America, a corporation. Be who you are. Don't you hidden history of hating me. Don't you ogoon me. Don't you fuck with Mother Africa. Stand on America, the hills of America, and be what you are. Own up to what you are. The white man is your savior. God damn it. That's why. And Mary Ann Williamson is out here running her mouth about reparations. They are your fucking savior. Say it ain't so. And I know you're big time angry with me, and I don't give no fuck about you. The reality is you make me sick, and it's time for the purge. It's time for the rapture. It's time for a new sheriff in town. Black power, we're taking this shit over. Take it or let it alone. You don't got the fire in your veins no more. You're too old for this shit. Shut the fuck up and raise your children. They say wisdom is knowing when to bow out gracefully and shut the fuck up. When I wrote your last will and testament, I said, all that I want from you is for you to shut the fuck up. God, you're getting in the way of the revolutionaries with a field Negro spirit. We're sick of you house Negroes made by the white man, products of the Tom Who. You make me sick. And all you do is race hustle. All you do is point the finger. You would dare point the finger at the Negroes that destroy your communities every goddamn day. In close proximity to you, murdering, raping, stealing, leeching off of you. Damn it. Sick of you want pretend towel mule Negroes. And I'm tired of being big mama used and abused. It is time for the purge. It's time for Armageddon. We are on the square side on Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, black power, and we ain't moving. The only way you're going to take it from us is over our dead cold bodies. Now, calm that energy. We had to go in and cook and build to show you where we are and where we stand. We're sick of you. You make us sick. This is, I remind you, black actionists and black broadcasting, not black platform whoring. Now, going back to Yvette Carnell, let's roll the footage and show the people how much of a hypocrite this witch is. And I said it. And you can tell yo mama I said it. And you can tell yo daddy Tone Talks I said it. Because I don't give a damn about you. It is time for the purge. Now, anyway, before I get hot again, let's show them the goddamn video. Now, please understand that we're going to have to cue it up, so stand by. I'm going to turn off my mic real quick.
right, fam. Let's try it one more again, as the old people say. 323. Let me try to bring you in again. 323. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Calling from California.
What's going on?
Hey. Not much. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you will allow me to do some constructive criticism about ADOS real quick.
Really quick.
Respectfully, because I'll say this, what the brother JB did was great, but unfortunately to me, on the outside looking in, that was a PR move only, because if he was serious, he would have been asking questions, standing his ground, kicking, screaming until they drug him away in either handcuffs or whatnot, because the message is more important than being allowed to speak. He asked for permission to speak. He should have just said what he had to say and got it on the record. So what I see is he wasn't serious. That was a PR move to get exposure for ADOS. Now,
when's the last time? I'm gonna let you talk. When's the last time you asked a question somebody dragged you away? When's the last time you did that?
The thing is, if anybody shows up to a candidate unannounced, they're going to be dragged away because of the heightened sense of security these days.
You're making stuff up. You're making stuff up. You're just making stuff up. Have you worked for a campaign? That's not what happens. Really. That's not what happens. That high security doesn't mean people just get dragged away if they show up. First, see, you said two different things that make me think you're kind of crazy. Because you first said he should get dragged away. Then the second thing you said was, well, the heightened security means you get treated that way. Which one is it? Like, I don't...
Okay, they both go one and the same. Okay, but that's not the point, Miss Cardell. What I'm trying to say is this, respectfully, and all due respect, sister. Now, if you don't, answer my questions, it's like Bernie running from questions. Anybody with an agenda kind of...
I'm not a candidate. I'm not running for anything. I'm not running for president. You called a call-in show. It's not the same thing. Even your analogies are bad.
I understand. But the only thing...
No, I'm sorry.
Sorry about this, guys. We're going to roll it again. That's funny stuff. So we're going to roll it again. Just follow it.
All right, fam. Let's try it one more again, as the old people say. 323. Let me try to bring you in again. 323. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Calling from California.
What's going on?
Hey. Not much. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you will allow me to do some constructive criticism about ADOS real quick.
Really quick.
Respectfully, because I'll say this, what the brother JB did was great, but unfortunately to me, on the outside looking in, that was a PR move only, because if he was serious, he would have been asking questions, standing his ground, kicking, screaming until they drug him away in either handcuffs or whatnot, because the message is more important than being allowed to speak. He asked for permission to speak. He should have just said what he had to say and got it on the record. So what I see is he wasn't serious. That was a PR move to get exposure for ADOS. Now,
when's the last time? I'm gonna let you talk. When's the last time you asked a question somebody dragged you away? When's the last time you did that?
The thing is, if anybody shows up to a candidate unannounced, they're going to be dragged away because of the heightened sense of security these days.
You're making stuff up. You're making stuff up. You're making stuff up. You're just making stuff up. Have you worked for a campaign? That's not what happens.
Really.
That's not what happens. Don't people? That's not that high security doesn't mean people just get dragged away if they show up. First, see, you said two different things that make me think you're kind of crazy. Because you first said he should get dragged away. Then the second thing you said was, well, the heightened security means you get treated that way. Which one is it? Like, I don't.
Okay, they both go one and the same. Okay, but that's not the point, Miss Cornell. What I'm trying to say is this, respectfully, and all due respect, sister. Now,
people crazy.
If you don't answer my questions, it's like Bernie running from questions. Anybody with an agenda kind of.
I'm not a candidate. I'm not a candidate. I'm not running for anything. I'm not running for president. I don't. You call a call-in show. It's not the same thing. Even your analogies are bad.
I understand, but tell me that.
No, I'm sorry. I tried. She's a moron. I tried. Like this, I'm not your candidate. How do you not understand the difference between running for president and running for and me having a call-in show? You want to criticize me, but ain't nobody dragged your old butt nowhere. You don't show up for nothing. And then you say, well, if he was serious, he would have did that while you sit on your living room couch watching TV. And you want to call in and criticize that man. This man's been running around from place to place to place to place to place, asking all the candidates, and you ain't did a goddamn thing. And you don't care, but you want to call in and criticize. That's the problem. You want to call in and criticize somebody else's work, and you don't do anything. You don't lift a finger. You don't lift a finger to help nobody. Don't call in here no more. Don't you call in here ever again. Don't call in here again. I'm tired of people who always want to criticize people who are doing the work, but they don't want to do anything. When I asked you when the last time you were dragged off somewhere, what you were supposed to say was, I got dragged off last week. I was at a protest and I stood my ground. I had 10 toes down. They had to drag me off. Then I would say, okay, I think you did it wrong, but I understand. You have a different way of doing things. You don't mind spending time in jail. Okay, that's different. That's not what we're doing here. We could have talked about it, but you don't do nothing. You don't do anything but criticize. You don't do anything but just sit around and be just the weirdest thing. And he did it respectfully. Like, you have to do this respectfully. You don't jump and like you don't jump in and do something stupid that destroys the optics for ADOS. If you do something stupid, what happens is everybody says, see, I told you these ADOS people crazy. I told you they morons. He just asked consistently, reparations. And he did it respectfully. Senator Harris, can I ask you about reparations? Senator Harris repeatedly, but respectfully. You sound like a provocateur. He should have got dragged off, and that's what it'd be. It'd be security, like you know something. You don't know nothing. I'm going to my next call. I'm going to 301. 301, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind? Are you there? Ain't nobody got time to play tonight, people. 773, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
John from Chicago.
What's going on?
Oh, ain't nothing going on. It's that long time no talk to. Good to hear you.
Good to hear you too, bro.
Yeah, I think people don't realize that this is the most consequential work since the civil rights movement of the 60s. And to have a brother get out there and do the work as is constantly preached by the creators of ADOS, God bless you and Tom for that, Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore.
Thank you, fam.
We just appreciate you. But to have someone call in and think that getting loud and belligerent and acting a fool is going to somehow get you in the room is utterly ridiculous. You know, we have to use tact. This is a time where we must think when we are in those spaces. Just like you just mentioned a minute ago, the young lady who did and hey, good work, good history lesson, 1619 to 2019. Great history lesson. But as you stated last week, you walk all the way up to the line and then fumble the football. When you need to be full-throated, and the reason you need to be full-throated is because you have the opportunity to get into the room. As you stated earlier, you did an article with the New Yorker. You may be in USA Today. Whatever the situation is, you have an opportunity and you have the ears of the candidate. And at that point, you should be full-throated about reparations. I'd just like to make one other point, Yvette.
Sure.
That point is, Senator Claiborne has to be, Congressman Claiborne has to be primary.
Look at this nap. Oh, stand by. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. What the hell is going on? We got an echo or something going on. We gotta make sure we're gonna shut this down. Okay. Test one. I'm gonna have to do something here. Okay, guys. Uh-oh. Is there an echo? Stand by. Uh-oh. We still got something echoing. So what I'm going to have to do is go through my settings. So give me 1 second, guys. Darn it. I should have shut that thing off before I removed it. That's what I was supposed to do. Damn it. And now I'm going to do this. Now, test one. Shit. Let me check some. Okay, we're good, actually. We are very good. Now, let me break down what you just saw for you. But we're also going... Anyway, give me a hot second. We got some stuff we gotta navigate it here in the studios. All right, so what we're talking here is I'm going to break down what you just saw. The damage control you just saw, the whole nine. And first... we're talking about Yvette Carnell. Now, the problem is, I called in, here's where her problem comes in. I called in cordial, respectful. You heard me refer to her as Miss Carnell. I also said, may I advised her from the get-go. I said, may I do some constructive criticism about ADOS. Is what I told her. I asked her. And she said, yes, sure, but quick. Because the point is, she doesn't want her white nationalist MK Ultra mindfuck Operation Exposed. She said, yes, quick. Which shows us her platform is only open to puppets and sheeple and followers. See, let me tell you something, people. You can identify propaganda by this very thing, whether everybody agrees and the narrative is controlled. If everybody agrees to the narrative, then there's no real constructive conversation, two-way conversation happening. So the reality is she controls her platform. And like for Black Righteous Folks Holmes said, she will censor heavily freedom of speech and anyone with opposing viewpoint. So that's number one. Second thing is, I attempted to show her how hypocritical she was to call out all these politicians. She sent her little flunky, we will call JB, to this Bernie Sanders rally to supposedly stand up and speak for reparations. But if you saw the video she showed in that same bullcrap video there, she shows JB going there I'm going to tell you exactly what he did. When he went there, he was asking one for permission to speak. Not a big deal. But what caught my eye was that he went there and he just continued to say reparations, reparations, reparations. Bernie Sanders, can I ask you something? Reparations. He didn't get busy. He didn't bring the smoke. He didn't ask any tough questions. He just said reparations, reparations, reparations. I was letting her know in the new intelligent black society, we overstand. When it comes to power and opportunity, opportunities sometimes come once in a lifetime. You got to take full advantage. You got to be throaty, like her caller said. He was actually low-key backing me up, because when it comes to this tangible, most prominent sense of civil rights work, they say, you need to overstand. You don't send in a puppet for a PR move just to troll it in the social media circles and ciphers and say, well, we're winning. Look, Bernie's running and all this crap just for exposure for your white nationalist propaganda, because that's all it is. You control and censor the narrative heavy. The thing is, this man did not hold Bernie accountable. When I said he should have been kicking and screaming and getting it out what he had to say, making a sacrifice, willing to, I'm not saying he should have, but when it comes to the understanding, the overstanding of power, we acknowledge that you die for what you believe in. You make sacrifices for what you believe in. You don't show up to an opportunity to stand for something and stand on something and fumble the ball. You don't come in mumbling, you're full-throated. Why was he not full-throated? I'll tell you why. Because ADOS is really not serious about delivering these tangibles they profess. See, what it really is sending in this flunky to do this PR hit piece so they could troll the narrative and say that Bernie's running, Kamala Harris is running. This guy shows up to all these candidates, and I'm not batting for the candidates. I'm just telling you, he shows up to all these candidates' rallies, and he does the same reparations. May I ask you reparation? Now, when I said to her that you will be dragged out no matter who the fuck you are, as being honest, because they will drag you out due to the heightened sense of security. What is that heightened sense of security? The mass shootings, Philadelphia and abroad, white mass shooters. Who the hell would let anybody approach a politician and start running off the mouth? They don't know what you're bringing or what you got. Overstanding, we go back to JFK when he rode in that topless car, he was shot in the head. Thus wise, they implemented changes to where the limo for the president was enclosed since then. They were no longer taking that chance. So when this guy seeking PR only, not serious, because if they were serious under ADOS, he would have been kicking and screaming and getting it out. Do or die, arrest me, I don't care. We are serious about what we want. Cut the check, don't go there mumbling. Tell them what you want, make demands, stand on the square. He did not do it. And now what are they going to do as a result of this? He's just trolling, so we're missing opportunities for this alleged great work. And now what's going to happen is they're going to fortify the barriers, the access to the politician. You just missed the opportunity is what you did. So, but she's too wise, Yvette Cornell. She didn't want to hear from me when I was trying to educate her and tell her, you send me in hungry, full-throated, and get shit done. Make your demands, state your claims for the record so the cameras pick it up as they're dragging you away. Now, here's what she did wrong, the hypocrisy in it all. What she did was, one, she didn't let me speak, just like Bernie's security paid to reduce the threats, did not let JB speak. The reality is she's no different than Bernie Sanders, because when I came on her platform, mind you, I'm not there personally in her face. She has the borders of distance between us. So that's number one. She doesn't need security. She can block me. But what she did was she did the same thing they're accusing the politicians of doing, running from the tough questions. She said out of her own mouth, you ain't never been dragged off nowhere, but she drugged me on her show. The chat room drugged me, and she kicked me off. She hung up on me before I can get my points made, because you know why she hung up on me? Because she was going to be exposed for who and what she is and what she represents. That is why she ran, tucked tail, ran and cowered from Queen Maud Girl, face to face. She couldn't face me like a woman. She said, yeah, I'll let you talk in just a minute. Also a lie. She didn't let me talk. She cut me off. She censored me. Her whole thing is a display of propaganda, puppets calling in, dick riders and followers, serving John Tanton, the white nationalist, behind the scenes is what she's running. So we're going to stop for a bold audio check. Okay, we're perfect. And so the thing of it is, people, what you're seeing here is a controlled opposition. It is a censored, propagandized bunch of bullshit. They're not serious because they were serious. They would send a soldier in there to represent ADOS. They did not send in a soldier. They sent in a coward looking like the cowardly lion in the Wizard of Oz. That's who they sent in to get shit done. I'm sorry. But according to Professor Black Truth and others, power cannot be begged for. Power cannot be wished for. Power cannot be prayed for. Cannot be begged for. You have to go in and take it. You have to make demands, stand fast and firm on the square and demand what you want. Now they're portraying this JB character as some hero across the ADOS stream of news, like he's scaring somebody. He didn't say anything. He looks like a fool. And then she went on to say, and I quote, "She sounds like an agent. She gonna get us flagged by the FBI." Listen, fool, you're already flagged by the FBI. What is there to lose? Send in battle-hardened warriors, thirsty for change, and be throaty. But she didn't want to listen to me. So now what they're selling everybody in their camp is, no, don't be aggressive for what you want. Don't make demands. Just be like a yes sir, perform for white daddy, and be careful for white daddy is what they're telling us all to do. They're saying act like a house Negro, wait and see, don't vote, sit on your hands, chuck it down, government-sponsored cheese, and wait and see. While they do this false double negative hypocrisy talking about all the candidates but themselves when they won't do shit either. This is why I asked for Black righteous folks home, do you hold her accountable? See what happens when you hold people accountable and stop going along with a charade. The jig is up and exposed. See, I don't got nothing to hide on my platform. Ask me all the questions you want. But she couldn't take the heat. She couldn't take the smoke. See, I knew how to do this strategically and surgically. We went in with an operation and we exposed her. But it is what it is. Take it or let it alone. You just saw it with your own eyes. She couldn't face me like a woman. In fact, she belittled me, slandered me, bullied me, drugged me on the show for hot good 15 minutes after she had hung up on me, mind you. And she brought it up again later to say, all you hothouse flowers that agree with her can get out of chat room too. So she was willing to kick people out, even though she had hung up on me, slandered me, her chat room drugged me, and she had the nerve to say, you ain't never been drugged off nowhere. You don't do nothing. In fact, Miss Carnell, I do shit. That's the problem. You don't know what you're dealing with. You dig? The truth is, I got this program right here. I invited her on this program, and she ran and tucked her tail. More than that, I've always called political officials all the way down to the cracker police and asked tough questions about what's going to happen with Daniel Battaglio and others. Hey, I was on my Twitter. Just go and look at it, how I tweeted directly when the Austin, Texas bomber was bombing shit in the black communities. I asked him, why is forensic fail in Black America? Why is law enforcement fail in Black America? And just guess what? Like magic, the next morning when I woke up, the case was solved. They had caught him. She says I don't do nothing. Well, you know what? I was just dragged off your program. So yes, I've been dragged. You fool. Anyway, the point is, people, let's look at the agenda and see how much more we have to cover. So we'll open up the lines and get out of here real quick. We've been mighty strong. I think we're at the end now. But the point we're going to make is this in closing. I'm very deliberate and very clear and very tactful when I tell you the reason we in Black America have nothing is because we, for the last 236 years, have failed to do for self and kind. We build up this white nation next door that we integrated into, care more about them than we do ourselves. And we have the audacity to spin yellow babies, lay down with white people, and talk about a black foundation. Who the fuck are you kidding? I'm going to say this. When I hear this foundational Black American crap, I get so heated and triggered because when I look at the footprint of how Black America's moving. I can tell you without fail that Black American men don't give a damn about the Black Foundation. If they did, they would marry en masse at 2% or 3% of the going rate Black women. They would father kids that look like them, not yellow bastards. My opinions are unapologetic. My opinions are not humble. And the reality is, this is a sleight of hand. It is a double talking, hypocritical fucking lie, horse and pony show. They're selling us with bullshit leadership. They can't face questions to prove and show and prove who and what they stand for. Anyway, we're going to open these lines real quick. We got to get out of here. Whew, but I was made for this. Not new to this. Well, I'm true to this. So let's get the call-in lineup. As we open the lines, we're going to play, we're going to play a little bit of music just till the lines boot up. We're going to take some calls. And then, but don't call yet until the lines are booted up, and I'll let you know when. However, we're going to play for you some revolutionary music, some battle music, as we boot these lines. And then we're going to take a quick peek at the chat room to see what's being, said. So we're going to go ahead and play this music. So please stand by. We're going to boot it all up for you. Just stand by. Alrighty, Black America. We are booted, suited and booted. Ready for your call. 122-597-7258. Hit us with your best shot or forever hold your peace. This is the BCC Black Central Command. Hit us on a war footing, on a war front, on a battle front. I am a war general. So we want to hear from you. We want to know what you think, because it's high time in Black America that we get on post. We are derelict of duty, and that's why we fail. See, ADOS will never be this cut and dry and honest with all of you, because they have an agenda. I started to tell you, Yvette Carnell, she has an agenda just like Bernie, and she does. A white nationalist front. MK Ultra mindfuck agenda, believe it or not, quiet as it's kept. And so she didn't want to hear that. She didn't want her audience to hear this. She didn't want those dots connected. This is why she hung up on me. As soon as I said, when people, then she went on this rant to say, this trope to say, I'm not a candidate, it doesn't matter. Well, you're in politics, and you're leading people somewhere where you should be held accountable. We need to verify that you're who you say you are, and your organization stands on what you say. That's why. But she said, no, we're not having that. She about to expose me. She said it out of her own mouth. She's going to ruin what we're doing here. Well, if ADOS was so credible and real and tangible, how the hell can I run it? I'm just one woman. Couldn't face me like a woman, but I don't know about you, but I'm wondering if for black folks, righteous black folks home, it's starting to have a change of heart. See, I don't tell people what to do what I won't do. On the last program or broadcast, I instructed her to call in and hold people accountable, so I did just that. I'm not afraid of being blocked. I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand. Now, the point is, we must be the change we want to see. We don't get opportunities every fucking day in the hills of America to get it right. We dropped the ball for the last 236 years. We must get on post. That means you too, black men and women. You must get on post. You must be right and exact. You must stand on Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, black power. To fight your way back to the top. To fight your way back to greatness. Now I'm going to say one more time. The call-in number is 122-597-7258. Hit us with your best shot or forever hold your peace. Your peace, not your piss. We need some drama, some comedy, you dig? But the point is, 122-597-7258. Hit us with your best shot or forever hold your peace. This is the BCC Black Central Command. We want to hear from you. This is a war front, a warpath, and a battlefront. Hit us with your best shot. Call us. Stand on your square if you disagree. We get it on right here. We don't run from calls. We don't hang up on calls. We want discourse because we know we're a debate prep, battle-hardened intellectual warrior scholars. We want it all. We want the smoke. We're real here. The real deal Holyfield and the real McCoy. We're not this show jive. Horse and pony show called ADOS under Yvette Carnell, the Asian provocateur, and her buffer, Negro buffer, tone talks. We don't put on a show. This is the real deal. Right and exact. Live and direct. Hit us at 122-597-7258. This is the lightning round in the BCC. Hit us with your best shot. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, one more minute and we're out of here. We've done a strong, great and mighty work. We've opened your eyes to the real deal of why Black America is stunted and going nowhere at the bottom. See, we were already led astray by the baby boomer generation, the so-called civil rights era. And notice how that caller called in to defend her like a puppet and said, this is the best work, massa, since civil rights. Let's reintegrate all over again into the burning house. Fools. You got to do for self, and you must separate. Anyway, you got one more minute to hit us with what you got at 122-597-7258. This is the lightning round in the BCC Black Central Command. Hit us, or forever hold your peace. Well, your father and I don't got time to play. Hit us, or we're out of here. Well, you know what? We're out of here. We've been long and mighty strong. We're not going to play it today. If you don't want to speak, shame on you, but there's work to be done. Great and mighty work to be done here in the United Snakes of America. Please overstand that. And now let's do the honor code of Black Power, the blueprint, and get the fuck out of Dodge. Please, let's close down the phone line, sir engineer. But we're going to do the close out now. We've been mighty strong. We always make our point, and we offer solutions. We showed you what Black excellence in broadcasting is versus the black horrors on the platform. Chasing that mean green. Can you dig it? Now, anyway, E1B1A, E1B1B, B1 for life. Pan-African 2020 tangibles and beyond. A Black Magi up. Black 21 gun salute. Black arches up. Black fist up. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black African, unapologetic, uncompromising power.